piss. The ice wind's blowing, here he goes, pacing like a lunatic. Upside down on a spinning globe, but the best is yet to come. Oh, how we laughed in this flatland, that's such a comical sight. To see me tune the glove head good, spewing out his shots, screaming. Where's the gunslave thing? You promised that I'd see. I'm all alone here raging. Everyone laughs at me. Oh, where's the gunslave thing? And listen off secret bliss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss. The sun is shining, he's alone, reaching into his iPhone, screaming at the top of his lungs as a 24-hour sun. Oh, how we laughed in this flatland, that's such a comical sight. The civic tune, the glove head goon, spewing out his shite. Where's the gunslave thing? You promised that I'd see. I'm all alone here raging. Everyone laughs at me. Oh, where's the gunslave thing? And listen off secret bliss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss. Oh, where's the gunslave thing? And listen off secret bliss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss. Oh, where's the gunslave thing? And listen off secret bliss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss. Where's the gunslave thing? You promised that I'd see. I'm all alone here raging. Everyone laughs at me. Oh, where's the gunslave thing? And listen off secret bliss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss.
I talked to you about Antarctica. You deflected to measurements. You are a dumb liar. Every single one of your dumb followers needs to look at their lives and realize Nathan Oakley is a liar. Since 2016, he's been saying if you go to Antarctica, you will be faced with gunpoint and turned away. Where's the guns, Nathan? Where's the guns? I don't see any guns, Nathan!
Welcome to BALLBUSTERS. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. So I guess the only question to ask, really, is, hey, Nathan, where's the guns? Maybe if I came off mute, you could hear it. I guess the only question to ask, Nathan, is where's the guns, man?
I don't know. This came out of nowhere.
What came out of nowhere?
It did. It came out of nowhere from you. I didn't know I was going to be asked this. I would have prepared an answer.
Sorry
looked
about
for
that.
them.
I'll give you some time to think about it, just a few seconds. Sorry about that. It's been a crazy day. You just don't know. This winter, can I start all over again? Let's start all over again. Let's just go from November and just I need a do-over. About that. Unbelievable.
No redos, no takesies, backsies.
Yeah, I didn't think you were going to be here today either.
My husband's playing a video game right now, so I'm in the clear.
You're in the clear until the video game's over, and then date night. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Flatsy. All right. Let's try this again. Nathan posed the only question to ask is, where's the guns, man?
Available in all good gun stores.
All right, fair enough. This is more or less a Nathan show. This is all about you today. It's just the way it turned out.
Mr. Cheswick, kudos to your song. Such a good song. I get it in my head all the time. It's stuck in my head all the time. So, where's the guns, Nathan?
Yeah, Nathan.
I don't know what to say, if it's rhetorical or not. I could never figure it out. If it's a comment, I can't figure out if it's from a friendly who's saying, what a bunch of idiots, where are the guns, Nathan? Or opponent going, where are the guns, Nathan? You just don't know.
Yeah, it's rhetorical on my behalf. I can tell you that.
You just, if you laugh every time I ask, I will be happy.
All right, what else is going on before we get into Bob?
The thing's going on.
Just get
What's going
into
on with you?
Just go straight into it.
I mean, we could talk about what we're eating. Or you want me to pretend to be Adam?
No. Oh, yes, Adam is not going to be here today. They have a celebration. I don't know, some King Kong celebration or something.
Yeah, I think that Nathan Oakley, you talk almost as much as Adam does, so you're pretty close.
No way.
I know when to stop.
It's
I said almost.
No, it's not even close. All right, let me
I
get.
understand this is going to be particularly Nathan-heavy episode. Everyone loves these types of episodes.
It's going to be particularly. Yeah, it's just how it turned out this time.
Nathan heavy, just like you like it.
Everybody, I assume everyone feels like I feel, and I particularly enjoy the episodes that have got me in them. What can I say?
Makes sense.
I guess see up to that, Mike.
Yeah, belly up, QE.
I did belly up, but I leaned back, and as soon as I leaned back, I fade away with this mic.
Mm-hmm. Belly up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me get my act together. See what we got right here. Let's go ahead and share this so everyone could see it. In Discord, you guys are good. I'm still getting warnings, but you said not to worry about that. Lower than the recommended bit rate. It was fine the last time, so I'm just gonna blow that off.
It's like that dog in that room that's on fire. He's like with the quotation box or whatever. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine.
All right, everyone good in Discord. We should be good to go. I'm not going to do a radio or sound check. We're just going to roll right into it. If you don't hear it, well, then you don't hear it. Let me get
I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. So this is Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, which we affectionately named him back in 2018. We're going to do a walk down memory lane with this glue sniffer. not just right now. I want to get an idea of what's going on here. It seems like Bob has come out of his TikTok retirement and come after Nathan Oakley for some strange reason. I mean, there's like 4 or 5 of these episodes. Nathan, where'd you touch him?
I didn't know I did. This is sincere. I didn't know. This is all new to me.
It just
Seen a couple of thumbnails, but I haven't watched any of this.
right. It's come right out of the blue. It's like he's got the huts for you. I guess it's as many times as you jug him around by his short hairs through the years. Like I said, we're gonna. If it's not the first time he appeared on FED, it's really close to the first time. But we're going to play that here in a few minutes, though. I'm going to wait for that. We're also going to do, you know what? I forgot to do something.
Bobberoonie? Bobberoonie.
We're definitely.
Bobberoonie. Bobberoonie.
You know,
I'm going to join in.
that's funny that you would do that because that's a Beach Boys song. The Beach Boys also have they got a lot of good songs, but you know, I actually seen them in concert, by the way. But I digress. They have another song that's really good, and it's called My Little Deuce Coupe. But you got a problem with that, don't you?
Old men music.
It's not old man music. It was the Beach Boys, for crying out loud.
Hey,
Yeah, the Beatles. Yeah, I've heard of them.
And the Beatles, yeah, you've heard of them. Yeah.
You would have
Right.
seen the Beach Boys. Man, I don't know if I respect you anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, the Beach Boys, I'm kind of old. Now, I'm not that old. Like, I didn't see them in their heyday. I seen them after their heyday. I think it was 78-ish.
Man, don't let me say anything. I've seen Travis' Greatest Tricks 3 times live.
Yeah. But that's not what I was going for here. You guys reacted. I wasn't expecting a reaction. What I was going for was, in England, they say coupe a little different way. Can you share that with everyone, Nathan?
Coupe.
Could you say it louder?
Coupe.
So, 1 second. Take over, Nathan. I'll be right back.
That's not the best word, right? How can you ask me to say coupe when the word cabriolet exists?
And that
See, it's off top car. My kids are like,
the way they spoil it. They spoilt the word.
it was ruined. Cabriolet. That's a much better word. Not that I'd ever buy a
Was that
cabriolet.
Jen trying to talk?
So,
well,
Yeah, I've got a bit of a lag, I think. Sorry about that. But yeah, I was just saying that the word coupe really does spoil the word when it's coupe. It's French. It's a French word.
right.
it would not sound good if they were singing My Little Deuce Coupe.
Sounds brilliant.
It sounds fantastic. My coupe. I'm cooped up somewhere, it sounds like I'm cooped up in a box.
That's got an ED on the end. Okay, this is nice. This is good. It's QE's live show. We're sat here talking. He's buggered off. It's always good. That's what you want.
Is that what he sings to? Is that what he sings to his daughter in that movie? What's that alien invasion movie? War of the Worlds.
Yes, I'm going to go with yes. Is that right?
The one with Tom Cruise. Yeah, I think he hums that to her.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, that's
Yeah, but like QE,
Yeah, I'm
the
back.
Beach Boys.
Yeah, I'm back. Did you guys answer my question yet?
I do like the Beach Boys as well.
Is it my?
I'm going to go with yes.
Is it Little Deuce Coupe or is it Little Deuce Coupe, Nathan?
Coupe.
It's Little Deuce Coupe. Outstanding.
Yes. That's correct.
All right. Well, this is going swimmingly so far. It's more or less what I expected, though.
Make sure you belly up, Nathan, because you're the VC of the VCs.
Dope. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get into the stuff about me. That's enough about me. What do you think about me, Flatsy?
So you are the VC of the VCs. You got to belly up.
I mean, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, he's doing it. He's all right. All right. Again, if you want me to stop, just say stop. Whenever I get the inkling to stop, if something, strikes me, I'm going to stop. So
I think we should take a few moments just appreciate the subject of this video. What did you say this was about again specifically?
the title of this video is Oakley Wants a Purge of FE from Bob the Science Guy 2 weeks ago.
Title makes no sense.
I think you mentioned purging. Say again?
I said we'll see what that title means.
Yeah, we're going to see it right now. He's going to tell you.
I mean, it's so unclear what he could possibly mean. By the title, it's so discreet.
Well, here we go.
We do not have a 24-hour sun in the south.
Did not have a 24. Wait, let's go back here. I don't know what's up with this. Let's see that again.
We do not have a 24-hour sun.
I don't know, but it looks like this is somewhat old. I would probably say 2015. Did your balls drop yet?
Excuse me. There's one handsome young man right there.
I didn't say that, but I don't think your balls dropped.
In the south.
Stephen
24-hour sun in Antarctica doesn't work on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, you can't have a 24-hour sun, a midnight sun in Antarctica. And I totally agree.
In the flat Earth model, we say there isn't a 20.
Flat Earth? What flat Earth model were you talking about there, Nathan?
That
The one
Stephen
that we're
Davies
assessing.
said.
The one that we're assessing is Robert Shortman. I think it was a Robert Shortman. It's sort of time-ish.
Yep.
To us doing sun tracking. I'd have to check.
So that didn't answer my question. And Flatsy, why did you answer when I asked Nathan a question?
I don't know. I'm not in a good. Just let me shut up. Stephen Davies said you can hear the video on YouTube, Lance.
Oh,
Just never mind.
thanks, Stephen. Appreciate that. No, you're good.
24-hour sun in the south, and there isn't.
There is no midnight sun in Antarctica.
Well, hi everyone, this is Bob the Science Guy. Today
Well, you're a scary monkey boy.
I'm going to continue my series on the Flat Earth response to the final experiment. Before we get into an epic rant by Nathan Oakley, Uncle Fester or Slappy the Clown, however you may know him, I do want
Oh, Uncle Fester or Slappy the Clown? What? Bob, you delusional. Well, that's rhetorical.
to take a moment to thank all of the subscribers to my channel for their continued support. And I want to give
What was that all about?
I have no idea.
It makes
Why
him
is
feel
Bob-
better because
why
of
is
his
Bob
receding
poisoning-
hairline, okay? To make fun of you and your shaved head, he's got to feel better about his receding hairline.
Yeah, but why? I don't get it. I mean, Bob typically isn't that guy, is he? So to open up with a poison in the well fallacy ad hominem attack, what's that all about? Just an outright insult at this point.
So he's not the pseudoscience fallacy guy?
Oh, he definitely does.
But he didn't typically, in past experience, go straight for the ad hom. He didn't. No, it's just disappointing. Anyway,
Yeah. And thanking your subscribers, Bob, let me tell you something. You have your subscribers. You have, this is scary, people. You got nearly 30,000 subscribers that are dumber than you, Bob. Now, that people, you need to take friggin' precautions, all right? Because some of these may be living near you. I would seriously suggest a defensive driving course. You might have to take other measures, but at least the defensive driving course, because they're driving around you.
Warm welcome to the thousands of new subscribers that have come in the last 2 weeks. Now, I normally don't put a lot of time and effort into Oakley. I find his channel to be obnoxious and childish.
How can a channel be obnoxious and childish? That doesn't make any sense to me. Are you reifying a channel, Bob?
No, he's projecting. He's just called me Slappy the Clown.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's saying, I don't normally watch this channel because it's childish. You opened up by calling another man a clown. Childish? Projection much?
Bob he's deep into that.
But I do stick my head in every now and then just to see if there's anything interesting going on. And today I'm kind of glad that I did.
That means...
He's a liar.
Yeah, he's a liar.
So you don't do something... I don't often take crack cocaine. Just every so often I do take crack cocaine. What are you babbling about, Bob? Why open up by saying you don't do something, but now watch and experience me doing that thing I say I don't do? It's just stupid.
This is a series, though. He's got about 5 or 6 videos of you up to this point. Bob, don't you know that you're lying? I mean, doesn't everyone... Well, your subscribers don't, because like I said, they don't have any awareness whatsoever. They couldn't recognize a Cracker Jack box. But you just more or less pounding your face in with a spade shovel. Up to that, we didn't even get into any of the meat here. Good job. You haven't wisened up over the years, it seems.
Because after a 25-minute rant on how the globe Earth is measured using flat Earth measurements, he went into a coping mode that I have not yet seen in the flat Earth. So let's go ahead and get started with that and see what he has to say.
Okay, let's do that.
But yeah, it's been, just to round out this, 25-minute rant. Very positive, but I still don't feel enthused. I would have much preferred that Witsit, Jaron, Dave, all of them fell in line with actual flat Earth proof.
Where'd the rant go?
Hold on. Sorry, he just explained that I was explaining in a rant.
Mm-hmm.
The globe came from flat Earth measurements. Why hasn't he played that then? I get it.
That's part of his charm. It usually doesn't, nothing follows from him.
Knew how to overcome non-experiment pseudoscience with antipodal assumptions in Antarctica before they did anything and made us all look stupid. Ideally, I appealed to all of them to understand this stuff, and they all just turned around and called me a scammer. And yeah, that's meant that all the people who would have disappeared in light of this from my channel as well had already gone. So all I saw was a net positive. It all benefited me. Saw an increase in subscribers. Wonderful. Telling me how, oh, well, I actually deserted you because Jaron told me to because you were a scammer. Turns out you were right all along. You haven't changed your rhetoric in the slightest, and now they're using it. After calling you a scammer for using it initially, as weird as that is. Yeah. Yeah, it was quite detrimental to my ability to earn money. But
anything up to this point, Bob, I felt compelled to stop it just in case this crayon muncher copyright strikes me.
This is my video. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he's
playing my video.
Well, that's true. He is playing your video on his channel.
Right, unedited. So I don't think you need to concern yourself. Meanwhile, all I'm really concerned about, right, if this is a response to what I've just said, I heard antipodal assumption. We all heard antipodal assumption. I better get a response to that. That's his argument, isn't it?
Yes.
But it doesn't affect me now. The sting has long been dissolved. It's gone. They can't take any more subscribers from me. I can only have a net positive in the face of what is considered to be what? One of the worst things that could have happened to Flat Earth in 10 years? Not for me!
Yeah, Nathan, it's all about you. Do you just...
It's not all about him. He said it wasn't for him. Can't you discern the difference between that? Moron?
Just keep telling yourself that.
Why does he have to keep telling himself that? It doesn't affect him whatsoever. The non-scientific pseudoscience experiment, non-experiment, with two logical fallacies, affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy, one by the two authors and the other one done by the globetards before they went down there, wrapped inside a false dichotomy, resulting in, drum roll, an alleged debunking of a globe projection. That's all we got here, Bob. Were you unaware of that?
It has nothing to do with any of the very interesting science that was done down in Antarctica.
There was no science done down there. You don't know what science is. You proved that in 2018, and you still don't know what it is.
It has nothing to do with the fact that the 24-hour sun in Antarctica rules out the flat Earth model that you guys...
What flat Earth model? Are you going to post that so everyone can see the flat Earth model that was debunked? Maybe? Probably not.
Have been working with, and that's the Gleason model.
He thinks the Gleason map is a scientific model. You're a glue sniffer, dude. Just a blatant glue sniffer. What? Huh? And your subscribers, you still have 30,000 subscribers after that remark? Shocking.
You can say that your subscribers are going up, and that's true. According to Social Blade, in the last month, you've gotten 0.8% more subscribers.
Damn, he's checking you on Social Blade. Has anyone else been checked? I haven't even checked mine on Social Blade. I don't know what Social Blade is. Boy, he's got the huts for you. Yeah.
Boomer alert.
Try out.
Social Blade is a way of having a look at another YouTuber and having a little guess about how well they're doing. Now, certain things on there they do correctly report because it's publicly available statistics. Other stuff on Social Blade is basically made up. That is to say, they haven't got a clue about certain aspects of certain statistics because I check mine and know them really well. And when I've been to Social Blade, because I remember many years ago someone saying, why don't you check this, that, and the other on Social Blade? Like, well, I'll just check myself on Social Blade and see how accurate that is and go from there. And when I did, it wasn't. Nevertheless, you know, certain statistics are reasonably accurate on there because you can get them publicly. You can get them publicly. That is to say, if you want to check how many views I've got, don't go to Social Blade. You can go to my homepage. Like, for example, when I was watching Morgile earlier, this is going to be a slight segue, but stay with me. Morgile saying that when Jaren had discussed me personally with Morgile about things like elevation angles, his attitude was, F Nathan, he doesn't have many views. Now, in reality, I get considerably more views than Jaren. A point that I've made to Jaren on a couple of occasions when he's attempted to rub my nose in how much more popular he is than I am. I go, why do I get more views than you then? Then I show him the numbers because he goes, no, you don't. I go, here's your numbers and here's my numbers bigger than your numbers. Jaren's a dick and assumes that subscriber count actually means view count. It doesn't. View count means view count. Retention, i.e. how many hours people are staying and watching. That's what matters on YouTube. Not subscriber count. But Jaren's deluded and doesn't give any consideration to actual useful statistics. And the same goes for Social Blade. But that's where you look. Just look on someone's homepage. If you want to know how many views they're getting, if you want to know if they're increasing, you can check. There we go. People like Social Blade because it's a dumb, easy man's way of suggesting that you've got an idea of what someone's account is doing. Beyond views, not really.
Yep, dumb, easy way. There you go. There he is right there looking at you.
Subscribers than you started off the month with. That's about 1/10 of what I've gotten.
All right.
But
let's go back. I didn't get all that. We'll pull a J. There we go.
In the last month, you've gotten...
This is cope. We didn't hear the last sentence. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
So, Bob's saying, I've grown more than you've grown. That's what he's basically doing, isn't he?
I don't know. I didn't catch it all. I'm going to go back. I want to get the whole thing. There we go.
Give us a couple of J's.
That's the Gleason model. Well,
shut up.
You can say that your subscribers are going up, and that's true. According to Social Blade, in the last month, you've gotten 0.8% more subscribers than you started off the month with. That's about a tenth of what I've gotten. But hey, every little bit counts, right?
Yeah, I guess that's right, Nathan. I missed that. Yeah.
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 Yeah. That was something I was taught really early as a salesman. You don't compare your numbers to other people's numbers. So when I was working for Cord, I didn't look at the name sales rep and go, oh my God, it makes no difference. What have I done? Because at the bottom line, at the end of the month, when the company's looking at what you've done, what the other company's done, comparatively speaking, is absolutely irrelevant. What do you try and achieve? You try and achieve constant growth. Sometimes you get good growth, sometimes you don't get good growth. I compare me to me. And do you know who the board of directors are? The kids and the wife, whether or not I can feed them. Bob, with his smug as shit grin, only thinks it matters because he's grown in terms of YouTube statistics. Me, what am I doing this for? To feed my family. This is my job. But Bob thinks I concern myself with how much better he's doing. You get every ounce of anti-flat earth support that YouTube can throw at you, and you're only doing as well as me? Completely suppressed and censored. That's pathetic. If you can't eke out much better numbers than me when you're supported algorithmically by YouTube, and you're on the side of the mainstream rhetoric that 99.9% of the world believe in, and you're only doing about as well as I am, and you think that's something to gloat about, you are beyond delusional, Bob. I hope that smug smile's been wiped off your face if you're listening to me now. Who gives a shit how well you're doing, Dumbo? About the antipodal assumption, am I seeking cope when I point that out and you don't respond to it? Oh, you're going to talk about channel growth. Cope, you say? Get real.
Oh, that burn just had to sting, man. Ouch.
Yeah. Moron.
At least you're not as stagnant as you've been for the last several months. At least people are talking about you again.
Wow, he's been checking out you the past several months, Nathan.
Is it just me, or is he keeping tabs to the point where he can assess my growth? He doesn't watch.
Yeah.
What a bloody hell!
Yes, exactly. That's what's happening here. You contradict yourself much, Bob.
Good for you. So even though Nathan is
What's up with these edits and stuff that he puts in here? What's up with that? Or he probably screwed up?
Can't string a sentence together. Yeah, it's very difficult to string a sentence together. You'll notice that the video is responding to me. It's just me taking a chunk of my own show, because I can string multiple sentences together in a row and then edit them out without having to spend hours and hours chunking out bits where I stumbled over my own bleeding words, like Bob obviously has.
Yep.
Ouch. Look at you, Nathan. Burn.
screaming into the wind that the final experiment only affected other flat earthers, but not.
No, it only affected two of us, Bob. You glue sniffer. You see, two of us, that's Jaren and Boy Zero Sky Grifter. Mr. Ping Pong Golf Ball, Shits at Zero. Those are two of us, not flat earthers, Bob. It didn't affect us at all. I've been trying to tell you this. I've been saying it for like 4 or 5 months. You still don't get it. You got the wrong groups. Like McDuffie does.
Not him. Let's have a little flurf on flurf action.
Flurf on flurf? What are you talking about?
Oh, but
this is a family
I'd much prefer
show.
that Jaren, Dave, and Witsit were actually on.
I know it's a family show. It's my show.
I was talking to Bob.
Oh, I got you.
Board with decent arguments, not decrying science because it affects their ether grift, not ignoring the fact the azimuthal equidistant globe projection is not only a North Pole centric globe projection, but it was debunked 8 years ago because they need to grift it on an app that's.
Did you hear that, Bob? That model you said that was the flat Earth model, the Gleason Mac train wreck. That was debunked like in 2016. Did you know that, Bob? Probably not.
Of course he knows that. That's why the clip at the beginning has got me from about 9 years ago. Because that's how far back Bob had to go to burn this straw man.
Yeah. This is really pathetic, Bob.
Sold for $5 a pop. You know, all these people, these mercenary sods that needed to bleed you, the flat earth person with money in your pocket, dry, they would have been much better served with actual decent arguments rather than just trying to bleed the pockets of every other flat earther out there. That's what they did at my detriment. And now here we are with, what, everybody jumping ship because they only believe Earth's flat. Me being the last refuge for the numpties that stick around with a belief and need something better, and then hopefully they'll find their way here. Meet like... We just have that moment of silence for Nick, please.
Yes, Nick.
Okay, we can move on. Like I said, I'm unaffected. Just hoping and wishing that things were different. That the huge numbers that have been built up are, well, in actuality, they could have only been built up in the way they were because they were being built up by a controlled opposition leader that was going to lead them off a cliff. And anybody who had decent information was going to be decried as a grifter and a scammer in the process because they need to be led off a cliff. Heaven forbid, if you're out there listening, Patricia, that we should call them grifters or scammers or shills.
I was going to say, Nathan, that the problem is, and I saw it the other night when Brian was on Mark Sargent with the DJ Curious guy, is that they're listening.
You're going to get any commentary from Bob the Science Guy? I mean, seriously, is he just playing huge chunks of my video to his audience?
Yep.
What's going on? Where's his commentary?
I don't know.
To what ballers are telling them. Who cares what they tell you? You know Earth is measured flat. Whatever they say means nothing. But I think you're right. For them, it was all about grifting, selling apps, and making money. Because a child can understand this when you lay it out for them.
Yeah, you don't need me once you know this information. I mean, it's tenuous in the respect that once you're a flatty because you've come here, found out it's measured flat, appreciated it, and then gone, oh, I can get on with my day. That's because most people don't actually want to engage in debate. They don't want to argue with their neighbour about how Earth isn't actually a ball and how your ball came from flat Earth measurements and this is how the system's created. Because you're going to be fighting an uphill battle for 3 hours with that person, even if you did understand the arguments. So most people don't want that in their life. But they do kind of want to know what the score is. That's why they're looking. So they get here, they go, oh, right, Earth's measured flat. Oh, yeah, all instances of globe mass come from those measurements. All right, so it's flat then. I can get on with my day. Yeah, that's right. Unless you're somehow concerned about your evangelism in flat Earth, or my evangelism in flat Earth, in which case you might support me with cash, because you want me to stay around. But beyond those things, you just get on with your day. You don't need me anymore.
You know, human beings are funny. We don't pay a lot of attention to the world around us sometimes, but, you know, if you've got a good barn fire, you're going to pull up and bring a picnic lunch. People like to watch that sort of stuff. And I suspect that most of Nathan's
masochists
subscribers are people just like me that are there just to watch the barn fire.
Where's the bonfire at, Bob?
What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, he thinks we're burning?
You know, I got to thinking the other day.
That's begging the question.
There's really no point in me having a subscription to his channel. He's got me blocked and muted because I've ripped him too many times, and he just doesn't want to do it anymore.
That's
true. Bob, no, Bob could join at any time. Doors are open to anybody. What's he talking about? Got him blocked and muted. I haven't got him blocked and muted. If he's pissed off one of the mods and got banned from the chat, being disingenuous, lying, being scummy, I haven't banned you, Bob. As for the server, no, that's open to all. Doors are always open. There's literally about 2 or 3 people that are actually banned. Normally for claiming I abuse my children, things like that, accusing me of crimes I haven't committed will definitely get you banned. But you haven't done those things to my knowledge. So no, you could definitely come in and just discuss these things on that show that you're critiquing. You could just step in at any moment. Believe it or not, people like Danny Faulkner did the other day. People who are on channels that are bigger than yours. I think he's got about 90,000 subscribers there, Bob. But nevertheless, he was there to, you know, step in, open his mic and open his mouth when he chose to, because he could. The doors are open. I mean, you, Bob, you could sit here and ignore all the points that are raised in terms of flat Earth measurements, globe coming from those measurements, and the cope that is sought out from us based on the 8-year-old straw man that you're burning with me with hair still. You know, obviously looking a hell of a lot younger than I actually am, but you accuse me of seeking cope with this. This is pure projection.
What was the rationale that you banned and blocked him that you didn't do? Let's get that. What was the reason why, Bob?
There's really no point in me having a subscription to his channel. He's got me blocked and muted because I've ripped him too many times.
You've ripped Nathan too many times. Huh.
If only we had some examples of Bob interacting with us. It's a shame we didn't prepare anything, really, because it just stands to reason that this is absolutely true. And Bob's, quote, ripped me so many times.
Yeah, he's
that
ripped.
We give a toss whether or not he thinks he's muted. Maybe people are just ignoring you, Bob. Maybe you can be seen in the chats. I don't know. I don't care.
Well, let's see. Let's go back to 2018. Go in here to Discord. I'll change it up here. One moment. Let's see what happened in 2018. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. So this is somewhere in the vicinity at the beginning of 2018. I think right around this time of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see how this goes. Let's see if Bob rips you up.
I'm asking you, Bob, the science guy, what are the three critical, crucial parts of a scientific experiment? Every single one. What are they?
Well, let's see.
Go ahead, Google real fast.
If I were to pick 3, I would probably say the null hypothesis and testing for the null hypothesis.
The null hypothesis is not part of the experiment. You'd fail 5th grade general science, sir.
Hold on a second.
Okay, that's fine. I fail.
Hold on a second. Sorry.
Not a problem.
The question.
I can live with that.
Bob. What are the 3 constituent parts of the experiment that comes after the hypothesis? It is your hypothesis test. So not the null hypothesis, but in the testing of the hypothesis, otherwise known as the experiment, what are the 3 main constituent parts of an experiment, Bob? Not the null.
Well,
that's wrong.
Let's see. Your independent variable, your dependent variable, and I don't know what you would consider the 3rd one.
Controlled variables, Bob. Those are the variables that are held constant so as to not influence the interaction between the independent and dependent variable.
Works for me.
It works for you now. You are a professed scientist that didn't know the 3 constituent parts of an experiment. It's like a butcher that doesn't know ribeyes come from cows, sir. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
He just expressed them. He said what you said. Just because he didn't know what you were looking for.
Well, just because he didn't know the answer, Kosho. He's declaring himself as the science guy, and yet when asked a direct question about what an experiment is, he didn't know. But you think just because he doesn't know, that's an excuse, you stupid idiot.
No, I know for a
it
fact
demonstrates admirably that Bob the science guy is actually Bob the fraud guy, because he hasn't got the vaguest clue what science is. Otherwise, he'd have known that answer off the top of his head. He didn't. Demonstratively.
Nathan, you don't know the definition of scientific method, and you can't use it.
No, don't project what just happened here, Bob. You were asked a very specific question about what science is, and you failed to answer it. You're now being defended by Kosho. Apparently not knowing is okay.
Bob, you don't even understand the scientific
You're
method.
a fraud spin
Sorry,
doctor.
I'll say it again, Bob. Demonstratively so. You do not know what an experiment is. That was what was just demonstrated by John. That's what's just happened. So you now declaring that I don't know what science is isn't what's just been demonstrated.
I think that was a
then tell me,
fantastic
what's the
question.
independent and the dependent variable in seismology? The science of seismology. How about astronomy?
Astronomy is not
How about
science.
genetics?
That's a field of research.
Astronomy is not science.
Not directly
Sorry,
involved
Owen,
in
hold on a second.
scientific
I want to hold him to account on that.
Okay, how about
Sorry, hold on a
seismology?
second, Bob. Did you just say the science of astronomy?
Yes.
Seismology is what he
Oh,
said.
right. So we've just
And I
gone
said
through. Hold on, Bob.
seismology, and I'm
Bob, it's
adding
okay, Bob.
genetics
Bob,
to it
Bob,
as well.
Bob. No need to rumpus me. So the science of astrology, we've just
Rumpus.
established.
I got another bingo card.
It's okay, Bob. You don't need to rumpus me, Bob. So
I got
if
a
there's
third bingo card.
Yeah, all right, Bob. It's okay. This is your only tactic. Do you know what's coming? Do you know the pummeling that you're about to get?
Nathan.
So we're talking about astronomy, and you're saying it's
Yeah.
science. So, Bob, given that we've just established what a hypothesis and an experiment is, and that the experiment has an independent and dependent variable, according to you, I'd like to know what the independent variable is when the science of astronomy is being done, please. You tell me.
How about the path of a comet?
Sorry, do you know what an independent variable is?
Yeah, it's the one that you vary.
Tell me. It's the one you vary? What, as the researcher?
The one that's varied, yes.
So a comet, would that fall into that category?
Yes.
Oh, you vary and manipulate... You vary and manipulate comets, do you?
Been explained so many
Sorry,
times.
Kosho, there's no need to come to his defense again, Kosho. Yes, your teammate is about to be raped. That's correct. You can try and hold us off him, but we are going to pummel Bob, the pseudoscience guy, with his current assertion that meteors are an independent variable and can be varied and manipulated by a researcher. Is that your assertion, Bob?
No.
It is your assertion. You just doubling back because it's wrong.
No,
so I'll ask again. If it's not, no problem. No problem. It's not. No problem.
Nathan?
It's no problem. It's not.
Are you going to let me finish?
No. I'm going to ask again because you gave the wrong answer, Bob. So it's not the independent variable of meteors. So I'll ask again. What is the independent variable when you're doing the science? Oh, he's talking again of astronomy. Not meteors.
Meteors
just said that isn't.
Meteors and comets would be great ones.
Oh, we've just established that they're not independent variables because they're not variable by the researcher. We just established that, Bob, you circle-jerking retard. It seems you can't keep up with the conversation. So no, I'd like you to tell me the independent variable that these astrophysicists are varying and manipulating to cause the effect of the of the phenomena that they are observing.
You're misapplying the definition, Nathan.
No, you just told us what is required in an experiment. You told us, Bob. Okay?
You need to have an independent and a dependent variable.
Excellent. So I'll ask again. In the astrophysicists' realm of science, what is their independent variable that they're varying and manipulating to cause the effect of the phenomena that they're observing?
I've already answered that, Nathan.
Yeah, you said comets. Now I'm going to declare that you're a complete fucking idiot. Because comets are not varied and manipulated by researchers, are they, Bob? So that makes you a fucktard.
It's enough to know this.
Oh, Kosho's here again. Hey, Kosho. Hey, Kosho. Is it nice watching him getting battered? Do you need to defend him? Pull us off him? While we point out just how big a fucktard he is? Yeah, comets aren't a variable that you can vary and manipulate, Bob. I would expect you to know that, given that you just declared what an independent variable is.
Are you just going to continue to ramble on, Nathan?
Yeah, and point out what a complete fucktard you are. You complete and utter retard. You haven't got a variable that you can vary and manipulate to cause the phenomena of the stars, but you can rumpus me and project onto me, can't you, Bob? You complete fucktard. So comets aren't an independent variable. I'll ask again in that case. What are the independent variables being used in the pseudoscience of astrophysicists' realm of science?
Hello, Bob.
He's already answered the question.
Not you, Kosho.
You know the
Again,
answer as well.
Kosho. Yeah, your teammate is getting a pasting. That doesn't mean you need to come to his rescue. Doesn't mean you need to virtue signal. It just means you need to shut the fuck up and watch Bob the scientist get his ass handed to him by me.
Nathan?
Not me, man.
Hey, theater major.
Oh, right, now it's ad hominem time. Well done with the ad hominem. I'd like the independent variable used by astrophysicists,
What's an ad hominem about calling you a theater major? Are you not a theater major?
sorry, what relevance does this have to the independent variable used by a pseudoscientist?
You said it was an ad hominem
astrophysicist?
attack. Are you saying I'm attacking theater majors?
It's
yeah,
got no.
yeah, it is an ad
Or was it
hominem
a
attack
proper-
because you're attacking his person rather than the argument. By
I'm not
definition,
attacking Nathan.
that is an ad
I
hominem.
just addressed him by his degree. Are you not a theater major, Nathan?
Yeah, I'll say it again. It's just been illustrated twice by both me and John. This does not address the question. It attacks me, the man. Ad hominem, at the man. So your address to me being a theatre major does not address the actual issue and instead addresses me, the man. Ad hominem.
I was trying to get the man's attention.
Man.
May I speak now?
So again, Bob the fallacy guy has used a fallacy. I've pointed it out and you've denied it, claiming it's not a fallacy because all you have is denial and fallacy.
May I speak?
I'll ask again because you've distracted away from the point with an ad hominem. So, what's the independent variable being used by pseudoscience astrophysicists?
I don't know what pseudoscience astrophysicists do, but
that's what they are. They're pseudoscientists, because unless you can give me an independent variable as declared by you needed in an experiment, then they're not doing science.
How do you say that?
Because if I've just explained it, literally, what was it, 4 seconds ago? Literally, it was 4 seconds ago.
Okay, who defines that the experimenter must?
Did you like that part?
I can't remember. It's such a long time ago. When it just I do that because of Zoolander. So when I hear it, I know exactly where I've stolen it from. So there's a whole explanation given to Zoolander, and the reason it's in the film is because the actor Ben Stiller forgot his line, right? So the guy who plays Mulder in X-Files explains to him why models are being used as assassins, and after he's delivered the full explanation, he goes, "Why male models?" In other words, he says, "I just told you, like 2 seconds ago," right? And that's all ad-libbed because he wasn't expecting him to not know what line came next, so he just asks him the same line he asked previously. Right. That's what Bob's doing, right? He's just saying, "Well, you know, what's this got to do with anything?" It's like, well, presumably the next sentence out of my mouth is because Bob has defined what an experiment must have when asked by you, right, QE? You asked him, what's in an experiment? What are the three constituent parts? He says, independent and dependent variable, don't know what the third is. We rip him a new one. Kosho tries to tear us off him and fails, right? Yeah. Now we're back here. It's like, well, you know, if they haven't got any independent variables, as strange as that may sound to pluralize, it makes sense, trust me, right? If they haven't got any independent, if they haven't got a or an independent variable to vary in an experiment, my God, that was a mouthful, then it isn't science. That's the whole point of this discussion, right? So when, like I've just explained, if someone was to say, why are you asking about independent variables? And it's like, well, I just said it 10 seconds ago. What are you talking about? Listen much?
4 seconds ago.
Okay, who defines that the experimenter must personally, by hand, vary something, or does the experimenter just simply need to have something that they vary?
Let me answer that. Let me answer
Okay,
that.
so
Let me answer that,
saying,
Bob. Let me answer. That would be you. You were the one who answered that question by declaring that you should have a variable. So yeah, that would be you that defined that, Bob. You stupid idiot. I mean, this is very amusing, Bob, but you are.
You liking that, huh?
This is great. Sorry, Bob, did you say you were unsubscribing because you'd ripped me? Oh, memory lane is just so devastating for people seeking cope from TFE. Yeah, this doesn't change it. Brian was right. Oh, he's here. Brian, you were so right. The whole point of TFE was for numbskulls like pseudoscience fallacy guy Bob to hand wave 10 years. Oh, you see, shut your channel, shut your 10 years, doesn't matter, right? You need cope because of TFE. And so much so that they're blinkered to everything that's literally being said in the moment and focusing on YouTube stats. You're like, what the hell? Why are you seeking a win from this? You want us to go down memory lane? Really? Okay, no worries, with pleasure, Bob.
Yep.
You utter clown.
Yeah.
You're telling John what's needed in an experiment. I think an independent and dependent variable, says Bob the science guy. Right, 10 minutes later, well, who's defining that you need a variable to vary in that? Yeah, you, complete numbskull.
Well, he was asking about who was manipulating it, and he already gave the answer, his first answer back there. He said, yeah, you need independent variable the researcher manipulates. He said it, right? And then he says,
let's just get Brian's response, because Brian, before TFE, right, this is why Brian gets credit for this, because he said it before it happened. He said it's their way of trying to hand wave 10 years worth of flat earthers doing flirting. Right, Brian? I just want to get Brian's response to it.
Yeah. Sorry, QB. I'll only be a second. Yeah, that was my initial response to it. That the whole purpose of it was to hand wave 10 years of destruction at the hands of us, which is what they've gotten. They were able to produce absolutely nothing for 10 years and just get destroyed on every point. And now the TFE came along and they want to just claim it's a globe and ignore those 10 years. That's all they've. Well, it's like if there was if it had any validity, the TFE, they would be promoting it in debates, and they're not. Mm-hmm. So in debates, nothing has changed. It's only within their minds or something. I don't know. But it was all just a hand wave. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. Let's pull another 5. We'll pull a J on this one. Let's get some more of this. There's plenty more to come. Bob doesn't know what a circle is, but we'll get to that in a little while.
You should have a variable. So, yeah, that would be you that define that, Bob. You stupid idiot. I mean, this is very amusing, Bob, but you are quite literally a fucktard.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? And you're quite amusing.
You're a doctor?
Now, I'm going to pin you down on this, Nathan. Are you telling me that unless the examiner personally and physically manipulates something, they can't manipulate it?
Yes, an independent variable must be capable of being varied and manipulated by the researcher. It also is your presumed cause of the effect. It also must be real. So things like R, they don't count. Things like gravity, they don't count. It must be something real and capable of being varied and manipulated by you, the researcher.
There you go. That's one gem. That was from 2018. Should we get something a little bit more current?
Unless the timeline precludes us going back to Bob's most recent video in response to that. So if we can get a bit more of that first.
You want to get a bit more of that?
Yeah, let's go back to his video saying, I can't even remember the title now.
Oakley wants a purge of FE.
Okay.
1 second. I got to hook it up in Discord, and then I'll be with you momentarily.
While Dewey's doing that, please share the show if you haven't done so already. It's just 2 clicks, share button to stick this show on Bebo or MySpace or whatever your favourite social media platform is. So please share the show.
All right, Bob. Well, we've seen you handing Nathan his butt. Anything else?
And he just doesn't want to do it anymore because he feels bad about it afterwards. But maybe some of the other people might want to adapt the same approach that I'm going to take, and that is that I'm going to unsubscribe from the channel.
Oh, no!
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Bob.
And if I need to subscribe for a particular video, I'll go ahead and do that and then just drop it again out.
Why would you need to subscribe for a particular video? Why would anyone do that? If I go try to find a video, I don't subscribe there. If I've left them and want to see another video, I just go to the video.
Right. Did you know this is like? This is how beta men behave with girls. I'm not going to follow you on Facebook anymore, but if I need to talk to you about something, I'll come back and I'll follow you then. Just know I've unfollowed you. Chicks out there, she's banging the plumber. She don't give a crap. That's me. Metaphorically, I'm the chick, as weird as that is in this metaphor.
That's very weird. And this is a family show. Bob is.
You know what I'm saying? It's that I'm unsubscribing from you. I'm not going to follow you anymore. I used to love you.
This is scary, dude.
Afterwards, I think that might be the best way to handle him, because he's got a false sense that people actually support him. And the way that he senses that level of support is with his subscriber numbers. I bet you we can get him down below 20,000 if we all get together and do it. So let's go see what happens.
So this is shut your channel, shut your. Is that what this is, Bob? Shut your channel, shut your. No, Bob, definitely not. Right, as you shown with Social Blade, shown that I've grown with a bit more effort, and if you can just unsubscribe and then make a series of YouTube videos about me, because that makes perfect sense. I'm not going to follow you on Facebook anymore, but what I am going to do is publish several videos about you. Are you having me on? Really? Okay, Bob. I mean, yeah, maybe shut your channel, shut your, just like my tomb wanted. Or not.
Yeah, kind of counterintuitive, huh?
Exactly.
See you in another 5 years, Bob. Yeah, we'll go down memory lane again in 5 years, shall we? This is just wishful thinking. Anybody here aware of the term wishful thinking? What that actually means? If you hope it's the case. If I just hope that she notices I'm not following her along with my 5 videos about her, then she'll love me. She'll love me if she sees. Wishful thinking.
This is
works both ways. Love and hate are very. I'm nearly done. Love and hate are on a very, very fine line, right? Yeah. Bob thinks he hates me, but really, Bob, we all know the score. You love me.
Well, as a YouTube creator, wouldn't Bob want to create videos which get views? So he's talking about you to get views.
Yeah, this is how his Social Blade growth. Basically, if you make a video about me, algorithmically, that will help you. Because if you're making a video about me, chances are you're saying I'm a shithead. Like Bob is, right? He's saying I'm Slappy the Clown. Okay, very mature, right? Doesn't want to subscribe to me, what with all the immaturity and that. Nevertheless, right? Algorithmically, if you make a video about me, it will grow your channel. Being me, that doesn't help me. It's not going to help me grow being me. Having the actual name that others make fun of and poke fun of and like this, opening up with an ad hom and an insult, that's going to grow Bob's channel. So my name is more likely to grow you if you're taking the piss out of me. That's how algorithmically screwed I am. But Bob's only just about the same size as me, in spite of all the perks and benefits of being a glurf. Yeah, I said all that previously, so I'm just repeating myself.
Yeah.
Likewise, you wouldn't need Jaren. But if there's an ethereal truth out there that only they have, that they'll sell to you with a science scam, then obviously you'll hang around indefinitely, because you're just on the cusp of finding out the truth, aren't you? No, that's not what we peddle here. That's what we had peddled in our community for the longest time. Maybe some of them will still stick around and still retain their shillery in light of this TFE garbage that proved nothing, except for the flat earth measurements that keep coming from it, which we find very useful.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out what Nathan is calling flat earth measurements. I have...
Okay. Oh, we can sort that out right now. I'll send you a video. Do you want it sent? Do you want it sent on Skype, or do you want it sent on what's it called?
You could
don't have to do it in Discord, so it'll have to be on Skype.
You could do it on Skype. Where are you going to, Master B?
Got it on Master B. Okay, well, while I'm looking for it, I'm going to dig it out. It's actually Brian's logic that's afforded us this particular piece of fantastic information. Let's just copy that link.
Pull a J on that.
You want,
you want a J?
You want to pull a J? Okay.
Yeah, because just coincidentally, I was, having conversations, and my girl is sometimes listening, and sometimes I tell her when to listen. And specifically earlier, we were talking about how these people come in these Discords and ask every question other than why am I here and why do I keep saying the Earth is measured flat. That other thing they never ask about. This guy, Bob, has been talking or has been aware of Nathan and FED for how many years, and he still doesn't. Why? We say that? What are you on crack?
No. I refer earlier to Brian. Like I said earlier, Brian got it perfect. It's this whole TFE for glurfs that not normal run-of-the-mill people on the street that know it's a globe because they've been told in school. The anti-flat earthers like Bob are utilising this to say, it's all over. Now, let's see if we can get Nathan down to 5,000 subscribers so he's less significant to me and I don't need as much cope making a series of videos about him. So all unsubscribe. Let's make this shut your channel shut thing happen. Like McToon wanted. They want us to all just disappear. They're hoping that by going down, seeing a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, they can turn around and go, right, that means you've all got to go away now and stop saying Earth's flat. We go, okay, well, what have you got? I accept the 24-hour sun, Toon. That's what I said to him on the phone call when he was there. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I gave no combatants to him whatsoever. And I said, what about your 10K flat Earth measurements? Where are the guns? That's what we got. Oh, okay. When he put the phone
Nathan,
down, he said to camera, the last most important line that he delivered in this regard was, quote, he tried to deflect with measurements, end quote, McToon. Okay, you're not paying attention, Bob. You're not here, Toon, literally talking to me. You're not paying attention to much of the footage. I mean, it's not like anybody within a 5-mile freaking radius of McToon couldn't hear him screaming my name. Yeah, he tried to deflect with measurements. Which measurements would those be? I was trying to deflect with. Would they be the 10K challenge elevation angle measurements Toon was using? Yeah, he was using a flat Earth for that. Yep. Yeah, he's done it again though, and we're hopefully bought enough time for QE to queue it up in that regard.
Yeah, here it is. You ready? You probably see this.
So McToon and Brian's Logic debated over on modern day debates, and Toon presented flat Earth elevation angle measurements for proof of his globe. Absolutely. Actually, after hearing, because I've put it on the thumbnail and in the opening slide, you don't need this, and let's not hear me and Brian, and we can if you want, but if you want to hear Toon and Brian shouting over each other with them basically highlighting the flat Earth measurements, we can. But he's holding them in this frame. Yep. What's he got? And Brian discussed this with them, so I'm going to give Brian the pleasure rather than taking the thunder. You there, Brian? What's he holding? It's not there. Fine. He's holding elevation angle measurements. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. There's someone approaching me here now. I can't go, no.
Oh, timing's everything. Okay, so what McToon is holding in his hand are his elevation angle measurements to the sun. Well, if you could define what an elevation angle measurement is, it's a measurement that's an imaginary line between you and the sun and the horizontal plane the observer is standing on. That's what an elevation angle measurement is. It requires a flat Earth to measure it. That's why I put the phone down and shouted about guns, because I asked him about the exact same measurement from his 10K challenge. Here are his elevation angle measurements to the sun from Antarctica. These are the flat Earth measurements, Bob. The ones that would get you screaming my name into the Antarctic snow if is to believe that they were, quote unquote, antipodally assumed to be down there when they travelled south or direction with respect to a plane. Just so all the flat Earth proofsies are in a line all at once, just for Bob. Slow.
I'm back there if you want to. Yeah. What he was holding. Sorry. What he was holding up there was a load of measurements taken via the shadows of the snowballs they had in a circle, making a sundial. Right. So that requires a horizontal plane of reference. So that means where that snowball is, wherever the sun was at that time, the point directly vertically below that sun has to be on the same horizontal plane. So he was producing what he produced as supposed measurements to support him in that debate were all based off a horizontal plane. Mm-hmm. They can't not be. That's how they work. So yeah, flat plane measurements.
Do we need any more of this, Nathan, or is that good right there?
I don't think so. It was just for Bob's benefit, because he was like, I don't know what he's referring to. Well, there you go. Toon's holding them up for you. You want to argue with my No, not my flat Earth measurements. They'll be tunes.
Yep.
Maybe you can scream my name into the Antarctic snow too, Bob. Or maybe my channel will decrease in subscribers because you've ripped me. Apparently, whatever you want to cope with. On we go.
So, back to the other video.
Yeah. So,
here we go.
Flat Earth measurements that keep coming from it, which we find very useful.
You know, I'm still trying to figure out what Nathan is calling flat Earth measurements. I have seen him claim that all angle. Oh, let's go back. What are you saying here, Bob? What Nathan is calling flat Earth measurements. I have seen him claim that all angle measurements are flat Earth measurements.
No. He never said that. He said all elevation angle measurements. There's a difference there. It's hyper-specific. Elevation angle measurements. Every single elevation angle measurement, Bob, requires a flat horizontal plane. Not just angles, Bob.
Here's where we can, yeah, exactly. We can call this outright because, like the straw man that he used at the beginning of his video for Cope, when he's a slightly more handsome version of me, that is to say a lot younger, right? This is a housekeeping question, isn't it?
Yep.
The evidence that you can acquire an elevation angle measurement from a curved baseline. That's a housekeeping question. It's like, what is it with TFE? You pointed this out, QE, and I thank you for it because it's obvious now. But when you said it wasn't, because it was a day or two into TFE, and I had people strawmanning me left and right, and it was a bit overwhelming at first. I'll be honest, because it was so thick and fast. You've said this. What, 10 years ago? What are you on about? You've been saying it for 10 years. What, you mean the comment's been in existence for 10 years? And you get it over and over again. And then QE said, do you realise that what we talk about is housekeeping, right? That's what we consistently talk about. If this comes up and you didn't say it in that way, but that's how I took it. If this becomes a bit overwhelming, point that out. Like, where is it in housekeeping? It isn't. Yeah. But elevation angle measurements are, Bob. You not follow the housekeeping questions. We do them pretty much daily. Don't get me wrong, we don't do every single housekeeping question every single day, but by the end of most weeks, we've got through every single housekeeping question. Elevation angle measurements, one of our favourites. It's a more recent one, if you will. That's to say it gets asked a lot more often in more recent times. So if you're watching the show, you will, without doubt, have heard about the elevation angle question. I don't say angles. This is just Bob lying for Cope, isn't it?
Yeah. When he said angles, yes. Exactly. Got it. Yep. You're a liar, Bob.
Just before you press play.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't get it in earlier, Nathan, while I was driving. But I think you're kind of missing, maybe I'm wrong because I didn't hear the start of this, but I think you're kind of missing as to why he's making this video. He's making the video because he's unhappy that after TFE, your channel grew as opposed to went down the drain. That's why he's wanting everyone to unsub from you. This is the thing. In the back of his head, he can't understand how you went up in subscribers and up in popularity as opposed to down. You and everyone else that he would view as the same as you should have disappeared, including me, in his mind, if you understand. He can't understand why we're still around and actually doing better. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's thank you, McToon, for your shut your channel, shut your that dunce behaviour that you needed for the actual Cope that McToon saw at the end of his video. Oh, but you can blame it on, he was up for a whole day. Yeah, wowee. But the aspiration to get to that point made the error at the end of his video editing process. That's McToon with shut your channel, shut your, right? Nonsensical grammatical error, because that's the thing they really want. Like Brian says, they want to get rid of us. They don't want the embarrassing reality of what's happened over the last 10 years to be true. And if we just disappeared, if our channels just went tomorrow, right, Bob getting ripped, end quote him, yeah, wouldn't exist anymore, but no one could see you getting absolutely destroyed and having Co-Show try and defend you, pull us off you as we laugh at you. That wouldn't, get viewed? Because we saw a 24-hour sun, so no one needs to see Bob getting humiliated anymore. Shut your channel, shut your.
Shut your shut.
Exactly. That's the thing. The whole point of this is the hand wave of it. they were wanting to just hand wave away us and the past 10 years. And they thought that was what was going to happen. And it didn't. And now they don't know what to do. Sorry, Kiwi. Go on.
No, you're good.
I've seen him claim that all angle measurements are flat Earth measurements.
That's a lie. We already went over that.
Because he seems to believe that all angle measurements come from a horizontal plane.
No, elevation angle measurements come from a horizontal plane, Bob. If you don't know that, you'd fail intro to third grade geometry. Bob?
Let's define it for him as we're here. So I've got 20 of these. I gather up. They occasionally grow in numbers because someone else gives me a new one that proves a flat Earth. But we'll start with the old and most favourite. Right, the altitude angle, open brackets, sometimes referred to as the, quote, solar elevation angle, end quote, close brackets, describes how high the sun appears in the sky. The angle is measured between an imaginary line between the observer and the sun and the horizontal plane the observer is standing on. End quote. Sustainable by design, altitude angle. Very specific type of angle that we define regularly to the point where I've acquired 20 definitions of it.
Is that the only one you want? You got any more? Or are we good?
Anyone I need.
All right.
Are we good? Definitely good.
You're correct. That's the only one you need because all of them echo that sentiment.
Which is, of course, the flat Earth. I don't think that he's ever comprehended the idea that you can get a curved line.
You can get
and take an angle from it.
You get no, you can.
Yeah, this is why it's edited. He's stuttering around it because he doesn't want to say it, does he? He's trying to argue against it without adding fuel to the fire in his own audience. He doesn't want the audience to hear the words elevation angle so they could quickly Google it and see what that is. So he's saying angle. Then when he tries to overcome it in case we watch it, because this is the real cope, because this is what we'll now hear is how Bob justifies this in his own mind. So this is going to be very pathetic. I can already smell the stench coming off this. This is going to be great. Because this is what Bob thinks overcomes the argument without actually labouring the argument for his own audience. Because it's too dangerous to even say. So he's stuttering over it.
You hear him stutter with the Bob. Let's hear it again.
Is, of course, the flat Earth. I don't think that he's ever comprehended the idea that you can get a curved line and take an angle from it.
You can get a curved line.
What? How? Yeah. I think we need to work on our, what is it, 5th grade definitions of what an angle is.
Yeah.
2 straight lines meeting at a vertex.
Yeah.
Can't have curved lines meeting at vertices and call them angles, Bob. That's stupid.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind me making a statement on that, his next step is to try and invoke some tangent, right? Which is obviously begging the question number one, because we're not talking about a tangent to a circle or something two-dimensional that you wouldn't even use for an elevation. You're talking about an elevation angle. Now, even if you had a globe, you wouldn't be able to use a tangent for an elevation angle, because the GP of the sun that you're using the tangent for is going to be right where at the end of the tangent. It won't be on the surface of Earth. It won't be below the surface of Earth. It'll be on the tangent. Your GP can't be part of a tangent, and neither can your own GP. Do you know what I mean? For the person measuring the angle, they don't get this.
Exactly. The tangent, what a tangent is a single point on, as you've already pointed out, the presupposed ball dangling beneath a single point. And then another point, Brian saying, well, you can't have a GP on the end of a tangent. That would be to say a line out in space, right? Well, what's a GP? What's GP stand for again, Brian?
Geographical position. Also called a ground position.
Ground position, exactly. A ground position is something that can't be out on a line in space. Something I explained to Jaron after McToon lied to him with this exact argument.
Yep.
How do you tell people that you've never taken calculus or trigonometry?
what trig is? You've never taken calculus or trigonometry. This is third grade geometry. And you don't know what trig is, Bob. Let's have a little listen. 1 second.
No, you're.
Let's.
I do know what's coming now.
So, Bob.
Oh, Bob. Oh, dear, Bob. Why did you pathetic man, using this for cope, right? Trying to wave away 10 years of embarrassing nonsense that you've spewed. Oh, my God. Did you not think we were going to see? I mean, I've got to be honest, I wasn't going to get around to watching this ever, so I do appreciate this, Kiwi. Very amusing.
Let's hear that one more time.
How do you tell people that you've never taken calculus or trigonometry without saying you know?
Well, we know you've never taken calculus or trigonometry. You don't know what trigonometry is. You even screwed that up grammatically. But it was a Trojan horse for your own self. Hey, you don't know what calculus... What the hell does elevation angle and calculus have to do with each other? It has to do with trigonometry if you were so inclined terrestrially. But let's take a listen. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
No, you're measuring the angular distance between a star and a point on the horizon.
Did you just hear Bob say that in Discord?
No, but just play it out for the audience.
I don't want to do that. Let's go to Discord. I'm gonna take this off. I want you guys to hear it too. Here we go. Bob Rooney.
No, you're measuring the angular distance between a star and a point on the horizon.
A point on the horizon?
All right, are you going to do it?
Sorry, the point on the horizon? Sorry, Bob, stop. I've got about 10 quotes of you saying the horizon's not needed on QE's channel. It was trimmed out by YouTube also. Shout out to you.
So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Go ahead.
Saying the
Go ahead.
There's he chanting through me. Why is he chanting through me? I don't get it. What's wrong?
You don't need a horizon for a sextant.
Why is he chanting through me? I'm clarifying that you specifically on this show told us you don't need the horizon. What's going on?
So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
You unlock this door with the key of
retardation.
Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the numpty zone.
You are so dumb. Damn.
No, you're measuring the angular distance between a star and a point on the horizon.
A point on the horizon?
All right, are you going to do it?
Sorry, the point on the horizon? Sorry, Bob, stop. I've got about 10 quotes of you saying the horizon's not needed on QE's channel. It was trimmed out by YouTube also. Shout out to you.
So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Don't need... You sound a little bit quivery in your voice there, Bob. You don't need the horizon.
Of course not.
No, you're measuring the angular distance between a star and a point on the horizon.
So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Hey, I've got a sextant challenge for you in the timeout chat. It'll prove that celestial navigation, which is based on spherical trigonometry, works. Nope, got to have a triangle for that. No, there's no triangle. No, there's no triangle. But you're more than welcome to use flat earth trig to do it. No, there's no triangle. No, there's no triangle.
That we will require spherical trig to do this. Will we or won't we?
Absolutely.
Well, okay, how are we going to do that without triangles, Bob? Do you want to define what trig is? The two different trigs. If we're not going to need triangles, can you define what that means?
Busted! Numpty dipshit! You're a retard. Unbelievable, folks.
Seriously, Bob, you've laid out a challenge, but when we come to clarify how it will prove for sphere Earth, you said we could either use flat Earth trig or we could use spherical trig. But then you've gone on to deny triangles.
No, there's no triangle. No, there's no triangle.
Got a question there, Bob-a-Rooney. If there's no triangle, bum sniffer, then why do we need to use trigonometry, which is the study of triangles?
I don't get the... I seriously don't get the mentality that would do this. It's humiliating for you.
Turn out the lights.
double speaking, pretender clown space monkey.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end.
Ballers scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Fallacies and refravity crowd their fragile eggshell minds.
So what's trig? For the audience's benefit, this dumbfounded silence is what you get when you become a fundamentalist religious zealot chanting about measuring angles on a curved surface. You start denying that you're doing triangulation, or that you even need triangles, or that there's even adjacent that you need at all. That's what you get to. Do you realise how stupid you sound?
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. Bird's a winner.
You're a clown.
That was hard to live back down. I mean, hearing it back, I feel like Bob ripped me quite badly.
If you can hear me, can you? I don't know if I'm coming in okay.
Well, let's round everything out. Hold on a second. We did Bob that. So Bob was claiming he was a trig god, but he didn't even know what trig was, right? So you're gonna get involved in this, Brian. Just hold on a second. We're gonna discover that not only that Bob doesn't know what trig is, he doesn't know what circles are. 1 second.
Oh, should we wait for a bit more from the more recent stream? Let's play a bit of that before we get. Unless you've got a particular order that you must play.
I want to do it now and get rid of these.
Okay.
Here we go.
Swapping them around. Yes. Go ahead.
Bob, answer one question for me, right? Is a circle two-dimensional or three-dimensional?
Excuse me?
Is a circle two-dimensional or three-dimensional?
A circle is a section of a sphere.
What the hell did you just say?
A circle is a section of a sphere.
Is a circle two-dimensional?
A circle is just simply. I'm not here to define geometric terms.
Yeah, because you don't know them, because you're a fucking idiot.
Wow. Ryan, I'm not here to define geometric terms.
Yeah,
for
you're
you.
a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's right. You don't know geometry at all.
Is a circle a two-dimensional or a three-dimensional object?
You can have circles on both.
Are you high right now?
You can have circles on both.
Oh, yeah.
You can have circles on both. A circle is a section of a sphere. You can have circles on both.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Ba 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 Baruni.
Ba 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 Baruni.
Ba Baruni, you are so loony. Ba Baruni, you got me laughing and a rolling, smirking and a scoffing. Ba Baruni, ba 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 Baruni.
You are so dumb. Damn.
So Bob doesn't know what trig is, and he doesn't know what a circle is.
Was that a QE cub I heard?
Was that a QE what?
A QE cub.
Cub. Oh, yeah, that was my daughter.
Yeah.
Let's test his sextant knowledge. What? 1 second. We'll knock all these out.
Before you play the next one, did you want to get something off your chest, Brian, before we play this next one? I'm sure you had something you wanted to say.
I can wait if you want. There's no big deal. I just wait.
Fair enough.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So you're looking through a sextant at things through the sextant. Which one of these represents that, first of all?
Your sight to the star would be line B.
Line B. Okay.
Yes.
And where's the horizon?
The horizon's not in the diagram.
You know how a sextant works?
Yeah.
What do you look at in a sextant?
Well, you look at a celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now, the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, you don't need a horizon for a sextant.
You unlock this door with the key of
retardation.
Beyond it is another dimension. You're moving into a land of
bullshittery.
You've just crossed over into
the numpty zone.
You are so dumb. Damn.
Don't need. You sound a little bit quivery in your voice there, Bob. You don't need the horizon.
Of course not.
Say what? Are you high right now?
What the hell did you just say?
You don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon,
you don't need the horizon.
Of course not. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
You're just being asked, do you know what dip correction is? If you don't, that's fine. Just say no. If you do, just tell us what dip correction is, Bob.
Dip correction is related to the angle formed between your horizontal and the horizon as you look down from an elevated height. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, you don't need a horizon for a sextant. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon.
Is that what you're stating the horizon dip correction is?
Well, you look up to the celestial object and down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Well, you look up to the celestial object. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And down to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Everyone stop. Just want to clarify what he said. So you're saying that when you use the sextant, it's literally pointed downwards towards the lower horizon on your sphere. I'm not going to try and get you in a gotcha. I'm just clarifying your position, Bob.
That's absolutely correct, Nathan.
Fine.
You don't need a horizon for a sextant. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant.
Go ahead, 10th.
He said he does. He said he doesn't use the horizon. I want him to affirm that.
Yes. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Then you pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Oh, son of a... That's going to leave a mark.
Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Your HS is your angle, is your altitude from the celestial object to the horizon. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now the way that you operate the sextant is you start off by looking up at a celestial object, perhaps the sun. So you're looking up. Pinch the index arm right here, and as you bring the sextant down to look at the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Now what'll happen is you'll bring the sun down to the horizon, so you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no. Until the very lower limb of the sun, the bottom edge of the sun, is just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then what you do is you rock it back and forth a little bit to make sure that you are at the bottom of the swing so that the sun is literally just touching the horizon. You don't need a horizon for a sextant. And then you read off your angle. So you don't need a horizon with a sextant, no.
Turn out the lights.
Double speaking, gender clown face monkey.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end.
Ballers scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Fallacies and refravity crowd their fragile eggshell minds.
Oh, well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's a winner.
You're a clown.
Those clips were taken before all roads lead to a flat earth was a thing, which is 2 or 3 years ago. And that being the case, were we to have that discussion today with Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, it wouldn't be so much a useful tool to prove his double-speak nonsense when denying that you need a horizon for a sextant, but moreover pointing out that that is also a flat earth measurement. When you're getting dip, I forgot we had that discussion about dip, you measure earth flat, your assertions with dip, Bob. That height, a parallel eye level with the surface level, height off the surface level measured with respect to surface level. Yeah, those are all flat earth measurements, aren't they? That's what we'd be telling Bob today if he was to be frequenting our little arena that he wants everyone to shut your channel, shut now. Yeah.
Shut your
Space monkey.
Space monkey. Hey, there's Bob Bruni again. Have you figured out what a circle is yet? we sure know you don't know what trig is. What ass clown.
You never took calculus or trigonometry.
Yeah, you never did. Thanks.
You know, I've said that before, and this definitely proves it.
Oh, no, we've already proved it here. Thank you, by the way. Appreciate that. What other dumb shit you got to say?
But I think the most important part of this rant today was what his plan was now that the flat earth has been destroyed by the final experiment.
What was your plan, Nathan? You scheming?
I certainly
Superchat.
I intend to do. Now, I'll just fill you in because he must be a mind reader. I haven't disclaimed this. My intention is to sell $400 consultations. Now, I can't tell you exactly what I'm going to be consulting on, but believe me, she will thank you for it. And also, I've got some supplements I need to sell. That's what my plan is. Let's see if Bob's right.
Super chat.
Super life counseling.
Sasha sent, I will dream you don't need a horizon for a sextant.
Did I say it enough times for you there? Did I record it enough times? Did you get it? Thanks, Sasha.
How is he going to try and salvage his income? Let's have a listen to the approach that he is going to take.
This is triple double for speaking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does it effortlessly. It's his happy place.
Now that the flat earth has been destroyed by the final experiment.
No, Bob. Your globe projection has been destroyed by the non-experiment. That's what's been destroyed.
How is he going to try and salvage his income? Let's have a listen to the approach that he is going to take. I think it's a real eye-opener.
Yeah, we'll work our way through them. All the people who, once the dust settles, are still around and a big name, we'll be like, okay, good job, you're still here. Do you know for sure and without a doubt Earth is flat? What's that? Could be a big ball, Dave. No, you need some educating, I'm afraid. Yeah, by us. Yeah, let's not have any crap where you start calling us scammers because we're telling you science proves things and showing you how it has advanced humanity. Yeah, best not call us scammers after that this time. Yeah? Just listen, pay attention, and don't get fooled, you fool, like you did by Duffy. Yeah? Didn't catch us out. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people getting whipped into line by us. And we're going to have to take that authoritarian stance. And I was chatting with Brian on the phone the other day, and I said exactly the same thing. While we were having a good old moan. I'm like, well, actually, we're in a slightly bizarre position now, which is to say we have to take that authority. So while I'm sitting here bitching and moaning about what people say, we've got to get past that. Now, I don't mind doing it while the dust's in the air, because who cares? It's inconsequential till the dust settles. So moan away. But once that dust settles, you're going to see us lining these people up. I've already started putting in the moves to make that the case with various different people, Dave included. Most recently today, it was Eddie Banjo saying, I want to talk to you. Yeah, I want to arm Eddie. That's what I want to do. I want to arm all of you. I want you all going out in shining armor that's blinding to the opponent. They can't even fricking see. That's how shiny your armor is. And if they get even close to you, one flick of the wrist and they're beheaded. That's what I want to offer. To Eddie, to Dave, to Jerem when I was doing it. Not anymore. They've exposed themselves as shills, haven't they? Why would I want to carry on as I was attempting to get them to bring their 150,000 subscribers in line with flat earth proofs and measurements and a decriance of pseudoscience with truth and proof offered by real science? No. We can't do that anymore, but there will be people who remain, and they need these arguments. They needed them before now. They were just told, don't look over there. Nah, they're scammers. Don't look at them. Well, now you need us. Or you'll have buggered off, because you'll be back on the ball. Good. It's been the purge. We didn't want you here anyway. You didn't know, so you weren't helping. You thought it was useful to talk about conspiracies and ether. Maybe a bit of 9/11, maybe a bit of JFK, maybe a bit of clone centers, a bit of Mandela effect. Throw it all into the mix to make us all look stupid. No, well, we're better off without all of you, I'm afraid, if you're one of those people. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. There's people who actually do research this stuff, that know what they're talking about when they talk about masonry. Those people, more power to you. Just the bullshitters and the charlatans that I'm tired of, and it seems this purge is getting rid of a lot of them. Yeah, watch this space. Hopefully we'll get a few of these people in line and they'll come and talk to us, or we'll go and talk to them and say, right, let's not have a repeat of what's just happened. We need to know what science is. That was not an experiment. It's all well and good you saying, oh, it's just an observation, because you were debate parrot rhetoric. Good for you, Debate. Great. It's nice that you're getting that message out there in the diluted form that you are. But not an experiment. Yeah, why isn't it? That needs to be explained. People need to understand why it's not an experiment and why it'd be useful for Duffy to peddle that fraud so that everyone believes, as they were taught in school, that it does prove something. That's why you use the word.
You know, Nathan, I think that we should just take a quick pause here and talk a little.
Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say what I was going to say earlier. I have a little bit of an add-on. Earlier on, he used the term, he said, you can use flat earth trig, right? This is nonsense that this is actually a way of them begging the question. There is, first of all, it's an attack on us as if we're supposed to come up with some different trigonometry. But really what he's stating is that, so we can use flat earth trig while he uses spherical trig, something that doesn't exist geometrically.
Yep.
There's no such, what they think is spherical trig is not spherical trigonometry. You can't have spherical triangles. If your baseline is not 180 degrees in straight lines, then it's not trigonometry.
Yep.
So what they're claiming is actually not, it's just the intersection of three circles in the sky that are only mathematically a circle. They're not actually a circle, if you understand what I mean. I won't go into all that now. But the point is that that's how they start inserting their spherical trig, but also using that as like a little attack on us. There is just trigonometry. You're either doing it or you're not.
Correct.
Secondly, exactly, yeah. It's that simple, isn't it?
Yep.
Secondly, other things he said there when he was saying, you don't need a horizon for a sextant. Like, now he looks so silly saying that, because I know, I'm not going to go into it, but I know why he was saying that. And I know why he was trying to say a circle is a portion of a sphere. And it's like, because he was being belligerent, he now looks silly. If he'd just been honest and just gave an honest answer both those times, he wouldn't look silly. But now he looks silly because he gives silly answers instead of just giving honest answers. Because he knows, I know that he knows what trigonometry is. I know that he knows what a circle is, and I know that he knows that when you refer to a sextant, you're always referring to a marine sextant. Now, there is other types of sextants, but they're specified.
He doesn't know what trig is. He doesn't know what a circle is. No, he doesn't.
I know Brian knows he knows that Brian knows what trig is. And Brian knows that I know that he knows that Brian knows. He knows that Brian knows what trig is as well. So you know.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. Then let's just say, hypothetically, he did know, and he gave silly answers. Now his silly answers have gotten himself, made him look silly, look stupid.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
Just be honest.
Being a slippery sod and lying has made him look stupid in the long run, is what you've said.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, now that he's already sacrificed his geometry acumen and trigonometry acumen, he's now going to sacrifice his science acumen. He already did it in 2018. He's going to do it again here now.
But just before you press play, just before you do, I want to reiterate the sentiment of the handsome man that was speaking prior to Bob now, which is to say, right, we want to whip people into line. We've now shortened that to back to basics, which is absolutely being implemented, and what I've said is still standing true. The people who, when the dust of TFE settles, which we're still in, they will absolutely be brought back into line if they're still hanging around. They'll be like, no, you won't be getting away with just brushing us off by saying, oh, yeah, we like the azimuthal map. It's a useful tool. No, we won't tolerate it a second time around because of this. And this will be the reason we'll be whipping them into line. That all stands. But the tool and the example that was given was science and measurement. Let's see if Bob responds to that, because the sentiment is, you know, I thought it was a very, very inspiring speech that I gave, nevertheless.
Bob's not impressed. What are you going to do now, Bob?
You know, Nathan, I think that we should just take a quick pause here and talk a little bit about logic and science. All right?
How you think this is going to turn out?
Now, there are two types of formal logic. There's deductive logic and there's inductive logic.
What? What the hell are you talking about, Bob? There's three types of inferences, Bob.
Let's just play it through for a few seconds. Let's get 20 seconds of him.
Nah, it's going to be too much. Shut up. Stop over-talking me. I can't even get a word out. No, I'm not playing 30 seconds because it's too much. So let me go back. Here we go.
Pause here and talk a little bit about logic and science. All right? Now, there are two types of formal logic. There's deductive logic and there's inductive logic.
That's incorrect. There's three types of inferences. That is deductive, inductive, and abductive. You abject moron. And what does logic have to do with this anyway?
Nice one, Kiwi.
Okay. Now, deductive logic.
Which one? Which one was nice?
The saying abductive and then abject.
Yeah. Did you catch that? Thank you.
Is the formal logical fallacies that you like to use all the time. So, for example,
what? Let's go back. Sorry about that. Let's hear that one more time. What did you say?
Deductive logic and there's inductive logic.
You're a moron.
Okay. Now, deductive logic is the formal logical fallacies.
He thinks deductive logic is formal logical fallacies.
What?
Oh my gosh! Has he been hanging around with Ruhiv?
That's what I wanted to get to, Nathan. Now I don't know. You're gonna have to ask Bob. I can only go off with what comes out of his blowhole, right? Let me play that again. Listen to that again.
Okay. Now, deductive logic is the formal logical fallacies that you like.
Oh, boy.
To use all the time. So, for example, the affirming the consequence fallacy.
He can't even.
Affirming the what now?
He can't.
Affirming the what now? Bob, affirming the consequence?
Bob doesn't even know how to pronounce him. Mr. Cygnus Octaris. That's what he called the Southern Pole Star one day, too. I got a friggin' thumbnail about that. We caught him. He screws everything up. He calls equivocation fallacies avocation. fallacy. This guy's a moron.
I also suspect that he thinks that affirming the consequent is the formal logical fallacy, because he's just phrased it in such a way, and he confused logical reasoning with a fallacy. But that aside, he seems to be bundling it like it's the only formal logical fallacy.
Yeah.
As in, it has form. Am I wrong in my assumption that that's how he's bundled it in the way he phrased it?
You're going to have to ask him, because I'm not getting in that where the caper-sized piece of horseshit is between his ears. You're going to have to ask him that, because everything's on the table. He's an abject moron, Nathan. You know this. Let's hear that again.
Yeah, you're right.
You like to use all the time. So, for example, the affirming the consequence fallacy.
Not quence again, it's consequent. T, idiot.
Fallacy is not a deductive logical argument. It's
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He doesn't know the difference between logic and logical fallacy. Does
yeah. He's scary retard, man. I told you, Brian.
It's not a valid argument. However, modus tollens is. And
modus tollens is a valid argument. Okay.
In this case, modus tollens is, given flat Earth.
Oh, don't do it, Bob.
Oh, this is going to be good.
What about the modus ponens? Is that valid?
Oh, everyone shush. I want to hear this. This is going to be great.
Yeah, all right. I'll play it through, and then we'll go back.
Is. And in this case, modus tollens is, given flat Earth, there will be sunset in Antarctica. There is no sunset in Antarctica, therefore, there is no flat Earth. That's modus tollens. Now,
there you go. That is modus tollens. That is modus tollens. But your premise is a train wreck. Bob, you moron. Let's go back and listen to that one more time. I'll stop at the premise.
Flat Earth, there will be sunset in Antarctica.
I got to go back more. Sorry about that.
Is not a deductive logical argument. It's not a valid argument. However, modus tollens is. And in this case, modus tollens is, given flat Earth, there will be sunset in Antarctica.
Yep. Given flat Earth, there will be sunset in Antarctica. Really?
So, no, that's incorrect. So, the form, no, that's incorrect. So, it's presented correctly in terms of a modus tollens argument, and you've identified and given him props already. But the actual argument that he's claiming is just being repositioned by him in his phraseology, because he said if FE, when it's actually if Gleason's.
Yep.
As he positioned earlier.
You got it.
But
yep.
Also, this is just getting on my nerves, because is he saying that the sun never sets in Antarctica, like ever? Can he clarify a little bit?
It's just a train wreck, his argument. Like I said, we already sacrificed it right here.
There is no sunset in Antarctica, therefore there is no flat Earth.
Oh, therefore there is no Gleason's.
Exactly. Gleason's. Exactly.
Now,
well, no. Sorry.
When you look at affirming the consequence,
he's gonna say it again. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say there is no sunset in Antarctica in December. So that means that there isn't a correct map, or that it's not flat. No, yeah. It means that we don't know what the sun is, or how it does what it does, or what it's composed of, like we didn't before this whole debacle. That's the problem. You have people like Bob on Bob's side who are trying to promote, without saying it, they're trying to promote or imply that they do know these things, and that this is knowledge is known. No. When you look into it, nobody knows what the sun is, how it does what it does, what it's composed of. It's all based off of pre-assumption and nonsense.
Yep.
So we found out we know just as much about the sun after the whole debacle as we did before. That's actually all we found out.
Modus tollens. Now, when you look at affirming the consequence, that's actually how science is done.
Wow. If you look at the affirming the consequence again, that's how science is done. Really, Bob? Go
on. Because science involves inductive reasoning.
What? That wasn't affirming the consequence. Number one, isn't inductive reasoning, you dumbass cracker. And number two, say that one more time for us, Bob. What is science?
How science is done. Because science involves inductive reasoning.
Does it? Everyone heard him, right? Discord, you're not going to be able to see this. So, Bob says science, it's all about inductive reasoning. Man, I had it right there, too. Screwed that up. All righty then, Bobby. Bobby, from the King Cheese philosopher of science, Karl Popper. From 1963 via Wiki, as mentioned in the section of the problem of induction, Popper's response to the problem of induction, Bobbaruni, is simply that induction is actually never used in science. Uh-oh. Continuing on, Karl Popper stated that he argued that science does not use induction, and induction is in fact a myth. Bobbaruni is in direct violation of the King Cheese philosopher of science, Karl Popper. And by the way, do you know why Karl Popper said that it's never used in science and it's more or less a train wreck? What is the black swan fallacy? It's an inductive fallacy. Does anyone know what it is? No? All swans are white. That was his shining poster child example of how induction is an abject train wreck. Ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Bob. Let's hear that one more time. You said induction, Bob? Really?
Really how science is done. Because science involves inductive reasoning.
There you go. Not deductive. 1 second, folks. Really? Let's get the whole picture.
It's done. Because science involves inductive reasoning, not deductive reasoning.
Not deductive reasoning, Bob. Uh-oh. We're going to have some problems. Let's see what we got. From explorable.com, Logic and the Scientific Method. This is a high-speed research organization, upper tier. The scientific method is conducted using two and only two subforms of logic. This is me, by the way, not them just yet. Abductive and deductive. As evidenced by explorable.com. Abductive reasoning. A number of facts from a multitude of sources, such as literature reviews and general observations, are gathered together. After an assessment of this information, the most likely hypothesis to explain the observations is adopted as the starting point of research. Abduction is seen very much as the starting point. Where is abduction involved? With literature reviews, observations, and constructing the hypothesis. Everyone got that?
Super chat.
Hold on to the super chat. It's seen very much as the starting point of research process, giving a rational explanation, allowing deductive reasoning, which Bob stated that doesn't exist in science, to dictate the experimental design. Bob implicitly said that science doesn't involve experiment because it's based on deductive reasoning. Ladies and gentlemen. From Thutko, Anne-Marie Helmestein, deductive reasoning, which Bob denied as being in science, is more narrow and is generally used to test or confirm hypotheses. Deductive reasoning. This experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Bob just denied it. Super science denier, Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy.
Oh, you're going to love this. AI sent, how many curvilinear tangents does Bob's hair have?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy. Thanks, AI. He stated that it was induction where he screwed up because he was conflating it with a formal logical fallacy, which is a train wreck of a dumpster fire by itself. Then he said induction is only used in science and not deduction, where induction is strictly never used in science. In fact, it's moronical. And then outright denied deduction, which is experimental design. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, in all his glory right here. Any comments before I continue? Nope. I didn't think so.
I have a comment, if you don't mind.
Good.
I don't know if I have this right from my memory, but did he not say earlier that modus tollens basically was deductive reasoning, and then he laid out an affirming the consequent, which he calls a consequence, right, which is an incorrect layout of modus tollens.
Correct.
Then he used a correct modus tollens but a wrong premise, and then he said, right, then he said that affirming the consequent, because he called a consequence, right, he called it consequence, was inductive reasoning, and science is based off that. So is he stating that?
Yes. If you, yes, that was very sharp of you, Brian. You summarized that absolute, convoluted, directionless, contradicting drivel. Yes, exactly. Yep.
I was impressed, Brian. I was impressed with that summary. Very good.
Because I have to ask, because now you may not be able to answer this because you're not Bob, but is he stating that a correct modus tollens is deductive reasoning and an incorrect modus tollens, which would be affirming the consequent, is inductive reasoning?
You're gonna have to ask Bob. I'm not gonna even. No, I will. I refuse to answer that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Bob. Moron of the millennium cannot encapsulate you. You're that stupid. You are scary stupid. My word, sir.
We don't prove things.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something scarier. Bob is allegedly a bone doctor. Now, this isn't your average run-of-the-mill skank and file baltard right here. He's purportedly a bone doctor. Just want to let you know. Oh, and by the way, say again?
Orthopedics and also Superchat.
Super boner. Oh, I'm sorry. Super bone doctor.
Gosh. Misfit FB 850 sent. Everywhere Bob goes, he gets there 10 minutes before his hairline does.
Now, come on with the add-ons.
Oh, my gosh.
Right, just to clarify that, what Huey's just said, this is in no way to besmirch his orthopedic accreditation or ability, right, which I have no idea about or care about or in any way want to tarnish, right? So just to lay that out there, matters not. But what you're saying is this is not in societal terms, he's considered an intellectual and a respected member of society with what would you call it? A respected profession, right?
Listen, all I heard through the years, I never confirmed anything. I don't really care. All I heard that he is a bone doctor. No one said orthopedics. Nobody said that. Just a bone doctor. That's it. That's all I've heard. So it is a train wreck of a disaster that I really want to stop thinking about. Okay?
You're the one who brought it up.
Listen, I'm just telling you what they told me. I think Bob had stated one time to me that he was a bone doctor, and I was like, what? What type of bone?
Exactly. That's a good question.
Hold on. I thought you'd know this. I thought you were like a man of science. They're like the white things underneath your skin.
Yeah. I think around that time, I said, oh, so you're a bone doctor. Can you give me the 4 levels of protein structure, Bob or Rooney? Now, anyone in the medical field will know this answer right off the top of their head. They would boom, 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 right? Not Bob. Not Bob. He red herring fallacy and obstructed his way around it. So I just kept on asking him. For at least 2 or 3 years, he used to come into 24/7, and I'd just bombard him, right? And one day I said, Bob, can we get back to the question? What are the 4 levels of protein structure, Bob? And he goes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then after I got done laughing, I said, you dumbass Greg. I said, yeah, okay, thanks a lot, Bob. Appreciate that. So I don't know where he is, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I'm questioning his credentials. I've never seen any credentials. So how can I question him? Follow? But he's it's a
Sit
weird.
in line with that.
Go ahead.
I'm saying I sit in line with that. It's just a glorified ad hom if we continue pulling this thread.
Yeah.
Discrediting with it. No, I'm not suggesting you were, by the way.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was just trying to, if he was going to tell me he was a bone doctor, then I wanted him to support some of that because I don't think he can tie his shoes by himself. That's all I'm saying.
QE, now I said to my wife, she said, Sasha, there is orthoped and osteopath, and that's it.
Yeah. That's why
when I said some guy said that he's a bone doctor, she almost died.
Did she?
Super chat.
Super bone doctor. I got it right that time, Flatsy.
AI sent, so he's a clock repairman. Shout out to Brenda.
Yeah. Nicely done. Yes, sir. Good. Nicely done. Because Brenda once said dog bones are clocks. So I don't know if he's a dog bone doctor, but that's what AI was going for. Nicely done, sir.
A lovely fella.
There we go.
In science, we find evidence supporting or refuting something in science. So the 20...
What? Let's go back. I may have missed a part on that. Let's go. Well, Paul with J.
Not deductive reasoning. We don't prove things in science.
We don't prove things in science. There we go. Let me do it again.
Inductive reasoning, not deductive reasoning. We don't prove things in science. We find evidence.
So, we don't prove things in science. We find evidence. Well, guess what proof means, everyone? I'll let you
guess what evidence means.
I'll let you guess what that is.
You said it wrong. You said I'll just rewind time. What do you think evidence means?
Proof? Let's get it. Let's show everyone. You're not going to see this, Discord. Don't worry about it. I got your back. From Merriam-Webster, evidence, an outward sign, indication, something that furnishes proof. From Oxford Dictionary's proof, first word out of the gate, evidence. From Collins Dictionary, prove, test by experiment. There it is right there for you. Proof synonyms. I almost said cinnamon. Proof synonyms, confirmation, evidence. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It's basically Bob saying, look, these trees, they don't produce any fruit. Take this apple and bugger off. That's what he's saying. We don't get proof from science. We just get evidence. What's evidence? Proof.
Oh, did he say that there's no proof in science too? Bob Baruni, you're gonna have some big problems. You're not gonna see this Discord. From Lumen Learning, biology majors 2, forming a hypothesis. When conducting scientific experiments, researchers develop hypotheses to guide experimental design. A hypothesis is a suggested explanation that is both testable and falsifiable. You must be able to test your hypothesis, and it must be possible to prove your hypothesis true or false. Gets worse. From Genome Research, Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory Press. Students are taught the proper way to do science is through the following steps. First, devise a hypothesis. Then design experiments that will prove or disprove their theory. The conscientious scientist follows this with a deliberate collection of data from these carefully crafted experiments, and the data prove or disprove theories. In fact, in most published papers, the hypothesis is put forth, followed by experimental proof. What the hell is Bob talking about?
Talking nonsense to try and get more cope out of a non-experiment, TFE. Now, based on what you've already played from Bob, he's mentioned from his own lips independent variable, dependent variable, and null. Those are the things that he ascribed. Inaccurately because he was being asked about an experiment, but nevertheless, when forming hypothesis, he's got the basic elements for an issue with proof, right? If you're going to apply the logic of science, you can't both cause something and not cause something at the same time, right? Law of non-contradiction violation.
Yep.
That's where you get your empirical outcome when you vary and manipulate that which you assume to cause the effect. Bob knows this when he's pegged 6 years ago, or however long ago that clip was. Now he's got to dodge that fact because he's now got to make apologies for a non-experiment. That's the bottom line. So he's got to bolster the fraud. By the way I put it.
So no proof still, Bobsy. From Anne-Marie Helmstein, PhD, Biomedical Sciences. A hypothesis is a tentative answer to a scientific question. A testable hypothesis is a hypothesis that can be what? Proved or disproved, Bob. As a result of testing, data collection, or experience. Requirement for testable hypothesis. In order to be considered testable, Bob, 2 criteria must be met. It must be possible to prove the hypothesis is true. And it must be possible to prove that the hypothesis is false. We've got proof everywhere. From Krista McClellan, The Nature of Science and the Scientific Method from the Geological Society of America. Experiment. Once the hypothesis has been established, it is time to test it. The process of experimentation is what sets science apart from other disciplines, and it leads to discoveries every day. An experiment is designed to do what? Prove or disprove the hypothesis, Bob. Let's take a last from Dr. Craig Venter, the grand poobah of geneticists, the geneticist of geneticists, from Celera Genomics and the National Institutes of Health. This is a video from the Arizona State Origins Project back in 2011. Listen closely. You know, there's some things in science. Let me try that again. You know, there's some things we can do in science in terms of proving certain things in life we discover. You idiot baltards that don't say you proved things are abject morons. What's that? You're finished. So keep saying it, because this is a tear-jerking belly laugher. Back to the video.
Reporting or refuting something in science. So the 24-hour sun
So wait a second. So its mission is to refute or falsify things in science. You sure about that, Bobberoonie? Let's run this by. You won't see it in Discord again. You could see it on a live stream. I would suggest looking at this, though, when you get a chance. So, if I falsify or refute a claim via experiment, that is, I validate the null hypothesis, doesn't that ipso facto, by that very fact, prove the converse true? You bozos. Examples. So if I disprove or falsify by experiment the claim the lack of vitamin D causes scurvy, haven't I ipso facto proven that if I limit your vitamin D intake, it won't cause scurvy? You abject moron. How about if I falsify by experiment the claim Pepsi droplets on eucalyptus leaves cause black holes? Haven't I ipso facto proven that Pepsi drops on eucalyptus leaves won't cause black holes? You numpty dipshits. How about if I falsify by experiment the claim your sister is a green manalishi with a two-pronged crown? Haven't I proven that your sister is most certainly not a money-grubbing she-wolf devil? You half a sissy globe-tard glue sniffers? That'll be that.
Is definitely a supporting bit of evidence for...
So a supporting bit of proof, because evidence is proof. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, evidence is proof. Proof is evidence. If evidence is evidence, quote unquote, meat hooks, is presented and it doesn't prove anything, then it wasn't evidence to begin with. Everyone got that? Thanks.
Are you saying, Kiwi, that evidence is proof and proof is evidence?
Yep.
And to falsify something, you would have to prove it to be false, which would require evidence to be proof.
Exactly. Brian, what have you taken today? Some Yohimbe tree bark?
Well, I understood it. I was just being sarcastic. But yeah, it's like, how can you falsify something? If you genuinely falsify something, that means you proved it not to be something or not to be the case. It's impossible to falsify something, falsify something without proving it to be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Yes. Yep. Good job.
The globe model of the Earth.
The globe model of the Let's go back. We didn't get the full thought. We're going to want to see that globe model there, Bobberoonie.
We don't prove things in science. We find evidence supporting or refuting something in science. So the 24-hour sun is definitely a supporting bit of evidence for the globe model of the Earth.
What globe model? Where's that globe model? And how is that science, by the way? That didn't make any sense.
Bit of evidence.
Because he's now what he's doing is he's masquerading and affirming the consequent fallacy of science. That's what he's actually now doing.
Yes. Consequence, according to him.
For the globe model of the Earth. So is the fact that we could predict the...
What? Predict? What are you predicting?
Azimuth and length of shadow for a 360-degree sundial.
They're predicting an azimuth and length of shadow on a sundial? What? What the hell does that even mean? What's a Bob, do you know what a scientific prediction is? You don't.
That would be a flat Earth prediction anyway.
Yeah, it would be. And it wouldn't be a scientific prediction, though. Because...
No.
Yeah. So is this a Gene Dixon, Edgar Casey, Jimmy the Greek type of globe-tard prediction without a model? Is that what you're talking about?
Brian a better word.
Good.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I just want it because it's such a good word. It's a flat Earth prerequisite. Brian. Just like saying that word. Okay, that's it.
Thanks. What else you got, Bob?
Dial in Antarctica, because we did that using globe math.
They did it using globe math. What is that? Can you show me some globe math? Let's see it.
1 second. Can I just comment on that globe math and comment on what Nathan said? I was being sarcastic, Nathan, when I said flat Earth prediction, because they're going to try and claim it to be a globe prediction. I'm just pointing out that they're using elevation and azimuth, which would be a flat plane prediction, and it wouldn't be a prediction. But the point being is that I was just being sarcastic. And the globe math, every time I bring up their globe math to them, when I say your globe maths, right, does not include perspective. Every single time I don't know how many of them saying, show us this globe maths. There's no globe maths, there's just maths.
Yep.
I wonder how many of them are saying that now to Bob in these comments and in his live chat.
I don't even know what this. I want to see globe maths. Don't you? I don't know. I just like to see him. I mean, it sounds like a differentiator between other maths, right? So show the difference. Clown.
And astronomy. There are many other.
Sorry. I'll pull a J so we can get the full thought.
60-degree sundial in Antarctica, because we did that using globe math and astronomy.
And did he say and astronomy or in it? Are you reading? Is he reading this? Did he think about this before and write it down? Watch him. Let's pull another J. I'm watching you close this time.
For a 360-degree sundial in Antarctica, because we did that using globe math and astronomy.
Did he say that he wasn't reading it? Did he say and astronomy or in astronomy? Let's get a. I'm gonna have to get a CC on that. I can't understand them.
Superchat.
Super globe maths.
Vlad on 0 degrees sent thanks QE and shout out to everyone in FED Discord.
Shout out back to you. Thank you. All right, let's see what he's saying.
Because we did that using globe math and astronomy.
Oh, so he said and astronomy. How did you use astronomy with your globe maths? How did he do that? Did he mention it? I didn't hear him. What did you say? Azimuth and what? Do we want to go back or you want to charge for? We only got a couple minutes left anyway. Let's go back.
Flat Earth, there will be sunset in Antarctica. There is no sunset in Antarctica.
We went too far.
Therefore, there is no flat Earth. That's modus tollens. Now, when you look at affirming the consequence, that's actually how science is done.
Look, they even wrote it like that. Nathan, do you see that? Like how he said it? You're busted. Idiot.
Wrote down affirming the consequence.
Yeah, it wrote it the way he said it. Consequence.
Science involves inductive reasoning, not deductive reasoning. We don't prove things in science. We find evidence supporting or refuting something in science. So the 24-hour sun is definitely a supporting bit of evidence for the globe model of the Earth. So is the fact that we could predict the azimuth and length of shadow for a 360-degree sundial in Antarctica.
The azimuth and the length of the shadow for his sundial. There you go.
Earth measurement.
Because we did that using globe math. And
no, you didn't. And astronomy, what astronomy did you use? That doesn't make any damn sense.
Astronomy.
Oh, and astronomy is demonstrable pseudoscience.
There are many other things that we did in Antarctica.
I'm sure you did. You? We? You weren't there. Or are you, what are you, French now? I'll bet you there's a lot of other things you did there.
We found that, for example, sunspots in Antarctica and sunspots in England were approximately 180 degrees rotated.
Therefore, glob?
And there was an intermediate finding in Tasmania.
Oh, that intermediate finding, that's the one that broke the camel's back right there, the intermediate finding.
That must have been the consequence.
I will be going over that in the future, but that
I won't be watching it, that's for sure.
Is very strongly supportive of a globe.
Well, why? Very strongly supportive of. Why didn't you bring it? You should have just said it. Is that a tease?
And it pretty much rules out the possibility of a flat Earth.
Pretty much.
So again,
does it pretty much rule out the possibility of a flat Earth, or does it? You're either pregnant or you're not. You can't be pretty much pregnant. Bob. Well, maybe you can.
Affirming the consequence.
He he must have said it like 8 times already. The CC.
Did you really say consequence?
Yes.
It's so funny. As a consequence, his forehead, or I guess 6 head, is a bit pregnant.
I'll tell you what, you just can't get beyond that, Flatsy, can't you? You've been on it like...
I know, I'm sorry. It's because he made fun of Nathan. Okay, so now he's fair game.
Okay.
Is very important in science because that's...
Oh, we're going back how the logical fallacy is very important in science. You need to be tackled by men in white coats, right? With long needles. And without cessation, with horse and elephant tranquilizers. Straight-jacketed, rubber-roomed, and forced lobotomized, dude. I mean, you look at you. It's scary. Where's your helmet?
That's how we do it. Because we're not doing formal logic in science.
We're not doing formal logic in science. Here we go again, Brian. My God.
We're not.
You're not doing logic in science, ladies and gentlemen. The scientific method itself is logical. Just as I showed you, with abductive and deductive reasoning, but the results have nothing whatsoever to do with logic. Nothing. It's a complete and utter category error. So show me the syllogism with heat causing water to boil. Anyone?
Superchat.
Super Bobberoonie.
Master Willie of the House of Boink sent. His name is Bob Townsend, and he advocated for MJ.
Michael Jordan?
I
don't know.
Can you say that over again, QE, with the science and logic? How did you phrase that?
I said the scientific method is logical. It uses 2 forms, like I just went over before. You weren't able to see it on screen, those people in Discord. It uses abductive logic. That's for literature reviews, observation of a phenomena, and the construction of a hypothesis, and deductive reasoning with experimental design. That's the only 2 forms of logic that it uses. But that's within the method. It sets the method straight. However, the results coming from said experiment have nothing whatsoever to do with logic. It's a category error. It's non sequitur, belly laughingly so. So what I said as an example, heat causing water to boil, I want to see the syllogism showing the logic in that statement. It would be easier distilling Alexander the Great's tears out of the Euphrates than to accomplish that mission because it's retarded.
Yeah, would it be correct to say that the whole purpose of the scientific method was to remove the human and what they might think or feel, and their logical abilities out of this equation?
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you.
Doing deductive reasoning, we're doing inductive reasoning.
You're not doing inductive reasoning either, you moron. Karl Popper just ripped your heart out. You're a moron.
So,
inductive reasoning is based on likelihood and probability. That's what induction means in logic. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember the all swans are white? Yeah, that's the poster child for his black swan fallacy. All swans are white. That's it.
So, if you don't know the difference,
you don't know the difference. I mean, this is below A level. Shout out to Adam. This is below A level. GCSE A level. If anyone has graduated junior high school recently, they're belly laughing in the corner over him. Well, maybe not junior high school. Let me take that back. High school, that's for sure.
perhaps you might want to look that up, Nathan.
Let me take that back. He doesn't need to look anything up. You are a doofus retard, Bob. Demonstrated in spades here today. I want to take that high school back here, too. I don't know what they're teaching in high school these days, so I'll take that back. Did somebody want to say something? Here we go.
The people need to be educated. It's back to basics.
You got something, Brian?
Yeah, I have a new phone case and a new phone, and I can't get to the mute button fast enough. I just want to say there's consequences to affirming consequence.
Oh, you beat me to it. I wanted to say that for a while now. I couldn't think of anything to put it with.
That's a good one, Brian.
Are there consequences or consequence using the affirming consequence?
There's a consequence, you could say, to affirming the consequence. Thanks, Flatty.
Yeah.
Been saying it on Ballbusters. We're starting to hint at these things in the shows. Once the dust settles, TFE dust, we'll go through it with each and every one of them, the people who remain. Hopefully Mark, who's typically in the past been the most receptive, will be the first in line to do it. But all the others that have approached, be it Banjo, as I'm talking about today, or Dave, as I talked about it a couple of days ago, whoever, I don't care. If you're going to hang around talking about Flat Earth, fool you once, right? You've been made to look stupid. I say you, because that's not us, not me. We haven't. Where's the guns? You think that was embarrassing? No, we laughed at that, didn't we?
One people, one message, one leader. I think we've heard that before.
Really? From where? That what you just made up? Where have we heard that before?
You know, when somebody
I guess we're not going to find out.
Comes out and calls for the purge of a community.
Wasn't that Adam who first said that?
I think he's going to go down the Hitler Nazi route. I haven't heard it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Sounds like that. Mussolini. Oakley or something.
No, it's Mussolini Meekin. Because that I heard that. Yep. Shout out.
But Nathan's the leader. It's Nathalini.
Nathalini. Yeah. I just wanted to point it out that first time I thought this, but actually verbalizing it was definitely Adam who said that. So shout out to Adam. What has he got, a bar mitzvah today or something?
This is a cult. And
what's a cult? What is a cult? Anyone? What is one? That word's been thrown around a lot. Heck, let's go look it up.
I think it fits the globe better. don't fit us at all.
What is a cult? From Oxford Languages, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object.
Well,
a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Got to be deeper than that.
well,
Usually a small group devoted to a person, idea, or philosophy. The term cult is often applied to a religious movement that exists in some degree. This has globe written all over it. Because that's what they, doesn't it? Because it's a religious movement.
That's what Neil was saying.
Yeah.
Very correctly, too. Very good, Neil.
Yeah, you're right on it, Neil.
What Nathan has just talked about was trying to get the remaining flat earthers, you know, Banjo and Dave Weiss and those guys.
Yeah, but Dave Weiss is a true earther. So Nathan needs to tighten his shot group.
And try and get them all on the same message again. Because the final experiment has destroyed the cohesion of the flat earth.
The final experiment. I'd like to know how this was an experiment, Bob. Can you tell us using affirming the consequence induction?
Community. They never really had a model. They never
claimed the model. You don't got one either.
Could agree on what the flat earth looked like. They have no idea.
Could agree on what it looked like? What the hell does he mean by that? What? Some parts look green, other parts look brown, other parts look blue? Like that? What the hell are you on about?
Idea what Nathan even means by flat earth measurements, but they do listen to him.
They know what it means.
When he says that the sextant in celestial navigation is based on a flat earth. He's never looked.
Yeah, it is. It's based on elevation angles. It's over. It's been over.
Looked into it. He has no idea. And
he's never looked into it.
And every time we challenge him on it, he just...
Sorry. That's just confirming, again, Brian saying that this is a hand wave, 10 years. Well, in this instance with Bob Rooney, what's he trying to hand wave? All the stuff that you played an hour ago?
Yep, earlier.
That's what this is a hand wave for.
Yep.
Sextants specifically. This is what he's rounding out with.
Good job, Bob.
Just screams and mutes us. That didn't...
Screams and mutes us. Usually the mutes, like 100% of the time, are for cause. Like people acting a fool. That's the only time people get muted. This feeble, pathetic excuse of yours, not to face Nathan, although you have done it personally. So I'm going to have to give you some credit there, Bob. Now, you got your ass handed to you, and it ripped out through your throat. But you still did it because you're too stupid to realize it. But I have to give it to you. All right? This mutes, that's feebly pathetic and dismiss.
It's also projection. So in the selection of videos that you played, there's various points for you and I where you or I are trying to make a conclusion about Bob's nonsensical assertions that he spewed. And Bob is saying things like, you can believe that, you can believe that, you can believe that if you want, through the top of us. That's essentially him using his mute button when he says something stupid and it's getting pointed out to him. But he wasn't getting muted. You could hear him chanting through the conclusion.
Yep.
Why is he appealing to that?
Well, because his subscribers, whenever they think of Nathan, mute. Yeah, that's the reason why. Meanwhile, the hordes of can Fogomerians are laughing in your face with this feeble excuse. That's what it is.
Nathan hasn't been using the mute button like they've been giving out about. Or he's allowed them to do funny muting before he's done anything for a long time now. Like, it's such a pathetic argument to say Nathan just has a mute button and uses it.
But,
yes, he does have a mute button because he has a show, so he does use it when he needs to. That's true. I agree with that. But he hasn't been using it like Dave claimed he's used it. And when he was using it in that way, it was because there was 5 or 6 ballers and him and Anthony Riley. Or 10 ballers and him and Anthony Riley. What's he supposed to do? Anyway, thank you.
Well, I want one example from you idiot ballpark. What the hell was that? I want one example from you idiot baltards to post one example of somebody presenting a cogent argument reasonably getting muted. I want to see that, and I want to hear it. Just one. That's what I'd like to see. To prove your little idiot, feebly pathetic claim right here. Because that's what it takes.
Didn't work out very well for them. And the Earth measures flat, and the globe is based on flat Earth measurements. I don't think it's going to work out any better.
Why not?
For them. And I just want to reiterate that Nathan just called for a purge.
Look at this doofus.
Call for a purge.
Nathan didn't call for a purge.
I didn't call for a purge. I said this would cause one. That would be to say that the believers, the azimuthal equidistant North Pole-centric globe projection, he's calling by abbreviation the Gleason's map, would cause a purge based on its inability to explain the 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Therefore, purge? I'm calling for one. What are you talking about?
Was that a rhetorical question? He doesn't know what you're talking about.
He mispronounced the Adam Meakin.
Yes, he did.
Just wow.
Is that all you got, Bob? Just wow. That's it? You glue sniffer. You need to be institutionalized. Scary retarded, Bob. That's you.
This is Bob the Science Guy.
Oh, God.
I think that's about enough for today.
Yeah, it was enough for today and for my audience. They loved every second of it. You glue sniffer.
Remember to give me a like and a subscribe.
Yeah, sure.
Again, welcome to all the new channel members. If any of you guys are interested in the Patreon or the PayPal for the...
Yeah, go ahead, support this glue sniffer. Send him money. He needs it.
The Telescope Fund.
For the Telescope Fund. Oh, boy.
Link's right in the description. I'll see you again soon. Take care.
God, I hope not. That's it, guys.
44 more hours.
I'll see you again soon. Not if I see you first.
Oh, boy. This is bad, man.
Hey, we finished the video.
We did. That's happened a lot lately, hasn't it?
Well, that's only when Meakin's not around.
Outrageous. I'm telling him.
He's reading poetry with a Scottish accent at the moment, isn't he, Nathan?
He'd actually say to me, I might still join on Saturday and slow things down. Those were his words. So.
I would have played another excerpt from Bob, but it was a little bit, it's not family oriented, but I'll hold that one back.
To be fair, family orientation is the reason Adam's not here. You know, he's got his second cousin from Bulgaria over, and it's very important.
Yes. Aren't they doing some type of ceremony, like a bar mitzvah ceremony or something?
I don't know. It's just very important.
He did it last year, too. I forget what he called it.
No, it's Burns Day. It's a Scottish poet, Burns.
Oh, Burns Night.
It's Robert Burns Night. Robert Burns is that the name of the poet? And he's now, that's why I said a minute ago, no one caught on to it. He's reading poetry with a Scottish accent right now. That's what he's doing.
We're singing Old Lang Syne.
What do they do on? It's Burns Night. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a kind of a Scottish knife, isn't it? It's a knife for Scotland, and it's based on Robert Burns, is it? The famous poet, Nathan?
Yes.
When I went to a Burns night supper, they had haggis.
Haggis.
up in
I was
Scotland,
just going to
and it
say that. You stole my thunder. I was going to ask you. Yeah, haggis. What's haggis?
Well, it's done with the bagpipes, and it's got a term when they bring it out. It's called the piping of the haggis. So if you want to search it up on Google and get a better idea, because I don't want to jabber on about this, but the search term you'd need to find out more would be the piping of the haggis.
The piping of the haggis.
That's got to be good, though.
I know what it is
This is
because
great.
I watched the original Highlander. Remember, he was on the boat.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I got to Google it anyway.
It's sheep's stomach stuffed with barley, isn't it?
Oh no! Please.
Yeah, I think it is. That's what he said to what's his name.
Italians eat that. Isn't that tripe?
It's heart, lungs, liver, all stuffed into a
Oh my
sheep's
God!
Yeah, he didn't let you finish, Nathan. The color commentary exasperationed you. What is it?
lungs and heart and liver and things like that, all as you've already identified, it all gets shoved into a stomach.
He did it again.
You have to.
seriously.
Come on, do I got to continue to hear all of that nonsense? Once you say hearts and
Nobody's
liver,
going to
it's
get you,
over.
Neil. Thank you. I'm not going to do it a third time. But
Yeah.
nobody will. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Well, we miss you. We miss you, Adam, and shout out to Betty too. Like I said, going through a tough time of it. Please send her prayers your way.
Well, haggis. She loves haggis.
I don't think Betty likes haggis.
I could have swore she said something about it. Oh, it could be me. I could be imagining it.
The Dutch don't eat.
She puts tuna on pizza. Of course she likes haggis.
Yeah, but the Dutch don't eat haggis. That's not a Dutch thing, I don't think.
Well, Indio and I just came up with something quite profound. If you listen to one video by Bob, the pseudoscience fallacy guy, it's negative 30 IQ points. And I was like, well, why would QE do that to us then? And must be a conspiracy. And India said, you're right. He's intentionally trying to make us dumber.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. We take away those 30 IQ points and then add 60 on the end. Once we deconstruct and then reconstruct after his everywhere he walks through, it's like devastation. Does he wear a helmet?
That's exactly what a conspirator would say.
I mean, this is really bad. I mean, the things that come out of his mouth, this is what I don't understand. If I was subscribed to somebody and I listened to 1/100th of him and just evaluated it for simple coherency, I would be running away. Fast.
But you're not a dumbass. What you got to remember is Bob's audience, I think he's an intellectual. Right? And in comparison to a lot of dumbasses that are out there, audience members of Bob, he is. Because they're dumber than he is. You said it right at the start, and you were absolutely correct. You might have said it facetiously or sarcastically, but you are correct in your assessment. In order to not spot dumbass double-speak and idiocy out of most of these anti-flat earthers' mouths, it's to be stupider than they are. That's the bottom line here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the only conclusion I can come up with. Go ahead, Brian.
I was just saying, why is Bob talking about things like inductive and deductive reasoning and different things like that? Because he's heard it being talked about primarily by UQE on FED, right? And obviously this show, which is your show, and he's heard about the scientific method being talked about over the years and whatever else. So his subscribers don't understand any of that. He's getting it wrong, but they don't know he's getting it wrong. So they think he's right and knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's only even talking about it because you've pointed out how all these guys, so years ago you pointed it out, how they didn't know what they were talking about. But you're talking, that was 2016 when he turned up and when you turned up. And that's been 9 years of experiencing you now. And he still doesn't understand this stuff.
I don't think
But
Bob,
his audience understand it less.
I don't think Bob was out here in 2016. I remember Bob I think it was 2018 when he stumbled his dumbass out here. Bob wasn't here, and if he was being quiet.
I was dealing with him in 2016. He just didn't have a channel. He didn't have a channel and was making videos. He was just like me. He was just a commenter on YouTube.
Yeah, but
he turned up about a year after I was around.
He wasn't in the gauntlet 2016, 2017. You know what I'm saying on the circuit?
I think he might have been, because I recognise his icon, which is either a different guy that he was like using as an avatar, or him like 20 years ago, because it don't look like him.
He used to come in 24/7. I know that.
Well, and we're talking in 2016 though.
Did he?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you about that one.
Well, Brian said...
No, my experience of him was not as a debater. I don't think he did anyone debating. I didn't go out debating anyone until 2017, as I know, because I debated him myself in 2017.
Okay.
But before that, he was on YouTube as a commenter, same as I was. Someone who'd be watching videos and commenting. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't go into Google Hangouts or anything. I know he didn't, because I never ran into him. Okay, fair enough. You're saying he was commenting like text beneath videos then. Okay. Fair enough. All right, anything else? I'm going to have to wrap things up.
Yes, so 3 people, Jaron, Ruhif, and Brenda, all have said that in order for science to prove things, you have to affirm the consequence.
It's consequence, okay?
So that really?
So I got.
They said it recently.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got the 2 of them clipped. I don't have Jaron's clipped, but I got the others clipped. I'll fish them out.
So they all just So hold on. So they're all just bagocking, like parroting each other. Is that what they're doing?
I mean, so
yeah. And Ruhif was he said it in a debate. I can't remember the platform he was debating on, but I have it clipped somewhere. I'll find it.
Oh, no, I think I got him on a Numpty clip, the Numpty from Down Under, stating more or less that. Yeah, we heard it the other day. Yeah. Wow. Brenda.
Make a bit of this down. Just because it's quite useful as a teaching tool, isn't it? So, in terms of, if you're going to assert that there's a logical form taking place, the place it would take place in scientific method would be the hypothesis. It's a suppositional statement yet to be validated, as opposed to a logical statement. Now, in terms of the logical fallacy, that's affirm the consequent. We've got if P, then Q, therefore P. As opposed to a statement that's yet to be validated, which is just if A and B. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P, it's saying, in the case of TFE as an example, if Earth's assumed to be a ball that I'm going to travel to the bottom of, then I'll see 24-hour sun. That's if Earth a ball, P, and I'll see 24-hour sun, Q. Then you just reverse it. I do see a 24-hour sun, that's Q. Therefore, my assumption of antipodal positioning on a ball. Now, that's affirming the consequent. But suggests that that is the method of science when you just say, well, I suppose A will cause B. Now let's check it by varying it to see if it does or not. In other words, it's suppositional in nature as opposed to a logical form that you can make an overarching statement with. When you compare it, it's like you're comparing a fallacy to a suppositional form. This is so stupid. Why are they doing that? Anyway.
Yeah. It's real. Yeah.
He's like, anyway.
It's what?
Nathan, he said all that like it was so important that he knows why they're doing it, and then he said, anyway.
Yeah, anyway. It's so stupid. Hey, Nathan.
Justifying why I've said it. Justifying why I've said it and then making it rhetorical after the fact. Because, yeah, exactly. When you think about it, who cares? They're just numpties repeating what Jaron said because Brenda likes the sound of it. Oh, yeah, of course. You've got to affirm the consequent if you perform in science. The dipshits. And then it was repeated by lots of other dipshits.
My word. Hey, sir. Take us home.
Huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you for tuning in, first and foremost. Liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, hitting Quantum Eraser up on his PayPal and all that good stuff. Of course, a massive thank you to our BALLBUSTERS panel, both the BALLBUSTERS participant and the public, for making the show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley. A massive thank you to our host, Quantum Eraser, and we will see you all in the next BALLBUSTERS.
The sun is shining, he's alone, raging into his iPhone, screaming at the top of his lungs as a 24-hour sun. Oh, how we laughed in this flat land at such a comical sight. To see the tune, the globe-head goo spewing out his shite. Shouting! Where's the guns, Nathan? You promised that I'd see. I'm all alone here raging. Everyone loves a flame. Oh, where's the guns, Nathan? In this elastic abyss. Not come all this distance just for you to take the piss. The ice wind's blowing, here he goes, pacing like a lunatic, upside down on a spinning globe, but the best is yet to come. Oh, how we laughed in this flat land at such a comical sight. To see me tune the glove head good spewing out his shots, swinging. Where's the guns, Nathan? You promised that I'd see. I'm all alone here raging. Everyone laughs at me. Oh, where's the guns, Nathan? In this anarchic abyss. I've not came all this distance just for you to take the piss. The sun is shining, he's alone, reaching into his iPhone, screaming at the top of his lungs as a 24-hour sun. Oh, how
deflected to measurement. You are a scum liar. Every single one of your dumb followers needs to look at their lives and realize Nathan Oakley is a liar. Since 2016, he's been saying if you go to Antarctica, you will be faced with gunpoint and turned away. Where's the guns, Nathan? Where's the guns? I don't see any guns, Nathan!